September brings three things: the promise of cooler temperatures, great tailgating, and football. Well, it's as hot as a crawfish pot on Good Friday. Tailgating is already wrapped up, which means it leaves only one thing, and that's football. Tonight, the Gators of Santa Ma host the John F. Kennedy Cougars in a game that pits power against speed, size against agility, and a master against his former student. Who will come out on top? Who will prevail? We'll find out together on the REV Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar, go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed, buku speed, high-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana, all backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
BT Chapman and AJ Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Santa Ma High School Athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Gators!
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs: reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for over 30 years. Here at Chris's, we do the prep work so you can be the hero at your house. We have expanded to 4 locations and now serve home-cooked hot plate lunches at our new Highland location. It takes a lot of technology to keep us running. We use REV Business and have all 4 of their services. If you have multiple locations, REV is the perfect partner for your point of sale and telephone. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Santa Ma High School. It's the Pit. I'm Jimmy Frederick, along with me, Santa Ma Hall of Famer David Swacker. Coach, what a great night for football. It is hot out there, but we've got a really solid matchup here between the number 5 3A team in the state in JFK Cougars and, of course, Santa Ma.
And there's no doubt about that. And I'm going to tell you what, it's a 3A team. Santa Ma's a 5A team, one of your larger schools in the state. It ought to be interesting just exactly how this comes out.
Well, what's interesting, too, as we take a look at our coach's notebook, is the ties between our 2 coaches, between David Oliver, who's been at Santa Ma for 17 years, and Linares Elpage in his 5th year. These guys go back a long way.
And Oliver at one time was tight end coach at Tulane. Yes, they do have tight end coaches still. And Elpage was a cornerback for the Green Wave. And so they had nothing but great things to say about each other. And not because they're playing each other. I think it's a deserved respect.
And they do check in periodically with each other throughout the year. And I know these guys have, like you said, a lot of respect for each other as we get ready to battle it out here at the Pit. We'll take a look now at our last week's results. And so we didn't have a game last week because, of course, Hurricane Francine came through.
Well, you know, it's amazing of what happens in a hurricane and how it affects so many schools and so many homes and family. And after a while, and I think the school board does a tremendous job protecting the kids and the teachers and the schools. And first thing they came out with no activities, and then they let the administrators deal with what activities you're going to allow. So it was interesting, and basically, and I understand what Coach Oliver's talking about, that supposed to go to Cecilia. He decided, since we haven't practiced all week, then we're going to have to turn around and have a short week and play Kennedy, that it was wise if they just did not play the game.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this JFK team against Warren Easton. It was not as close as that score might indicate. At 36-26, JFK really put a whipping on Easton, amassing over 300 yards of offense, 273 through the air. So they were very strong against Warren Easton.
And Warren Easton and Kennedy is just like Santa Ma and EA, or Dutchtown and EA and Santa Ma. Big game. And they had to play without any practice. And the kids the coach said the kids all fell right in, and ended up being a heck of a game for Kennedy. Their quarterback is for real, and you'll get an opportunity to see two very good quarterbacks here tonight.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at our keys to victory. We'll start off with the John F. Kennedy Cougars, and we start off with the fact that they need to be dynamic up front. Coach, they are small across the offensive line. They've got to use their athleticism to try to counteract the size of the defensive line of Santa Ma.
You know, they have the most important thing in athletics, speed.
Yep.
And they have it at the quarterback spot, they have it at receiver spot, and the running back spot. Now, their linemen may be small. Santa Ma may be a lot bigger than them. You know, it's just a matter of what is going to win this game for each of these teams. Is it going to be the speed or the size?
That's the next one exactly, is light them up on the outside, which basically just simply means get their athletes in space and let them do their job, because the Santa Ma defense is very strong in the middle. They have a little trouble on the outside.
And very, very well coached. And, it's interesting to see just exactly what Santa Ma is going to do, because against Byrd, they were able to get to the outside a few times. And so the Gators are going to have to be very sharp and not allowing that outside runner to get downfield.
Last one, don't lose contain. And, of course, that just means keep everybody in front of you and don't let them get to the outside again. Let's take a look at the Santa Ma keys to victory. Number one for them, Coach, after a rough one in week one against Byrd, hang on to the pigskin. 3 interceptions 2 weeks ago against Byrd.
Fumbling the ball is, you have situations, especially last week, with a lot of people playing with very wet fields. Fumbling the ball on this turf, it shouldn't happen.
Right.
And so, I would think both teams are at an advantage. Very clear night, very clean night, a little bit warm, but great atmosphere for high school football.
Next one is get them off schedule. They want to make sure that they're able to get them behind the chains. And then the last one, location. Just like a real estate agent or a businessman, they want to make sure, the Gators want to make sure they have good field position offensively and pin the Cougars back in their own deep territory when they have the opportunity to do that. So it's really important for Coach Oliver's team, because they were unable to convert a lot against Byrd. In fact, they only went 3 for 12 in third downs.
Yeah, and in my dealings with the third down situations, they are so crucial in football, no matter what level you're at. And I know it's going to be important third down for both teams tonight.
We are almost ready. We got the Gators with the smoke, the fog, the Gator head. They're getting ready to come out of the end zone in just a second. We talked a minute ago. Here they come, the Gators right now, and they are ready for this football game. They're 0-1 on the season. Again, they didn't play Cecilia. The Cougars 2-0 on the season. This is an opportunity for a very young Gator team to set the tone for the rest of the season.
It's no doubt, because people say, well, what about power rankings? And, with 9, well, you're going to divide by how many games you play. And that's going to be, as of right now, it should be 10 for Kennedy and it should be 9 for Santa Ma. So, the big thing is, let's just see at the end of the year, because when this game is over with, Kennedy's going to be pulling for Sanama, and Sanama's going to be pulling for Kennedy. And you can get every point you get is for a win that your opponent plays throughout the year.
We were going to take a quick look at a graphic, but we'll wait on that. We'll take a look at our district records in a minute. We are just about set for our national anthem. I want to tell you, our honor guard presented by the Navy Junior ROTC members from Sanama. The right shoulder is what they call is Cadet Ryan Mitchell. The left shoulder is Brian Cullen. Holding the state flag or carrying the state flag is Gerald Waterman. And the American flag is Grant Wells. The honor of playing the national anthem is done by the great Sanama Gator Band. And they really take pride in not just playing the national anthem, but all that they do to get everybody excited about the game.
Led, I saw him down on the field earlier, by Joey Nasser, doing an outstanding job with the 200-plus band members. Outstanding job by Coach, well, not Coach Nasser, band director Nasser.
Absolutely. Our national anthem now by the Gator Band, along with a moment of silence here.
Today's colors are being presented by the Sanama High School Naval Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. Color guard members are National Flag Cadet Grant Wells, State Flag Cadet Gerald Waterman, Right Rifleman Cadet Ryan Mitchell, Left Rifleman Cadet Brian Cullen. It is Thursday night football at the Pit. The Gators and the Cougars kicking off week 3 of the high school football season here in Gonzales, or actually in Sanama, pardon me. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Gator Band, and again, phenomenal job. They do as much work as any football team and any other team when they're doing two-a-days getting ready for the football season. Got to hand it to the band members.
And you have that color guard. You have the cheerleaders and the Gatorettes. A very, very big part of the athletic team at Sanama High School.
Let's take a look at the members of the District 5 5A district. Of course, Denham Springs, Dutchtown. We will be seeing Dutchtown at Prairieville next week. East Ascension, Live Oak, mentioned Prairieville, of course, Sanama and Walker. That's your 5 5A district. And the 10 3A district, De La Salle, Kennedy, Livingston Collegiate. I'm not real familiar with them.
L.B. Landry, Sophie B. Wright. I've always loved the name Sophie B. Wright for some
Beautiful.
reason. And B.T. Washington, Booker T. Washington.
And you notice with the addition of Prairieville, you have 7 teams in the 5-5A district. And with the 7 teams, not that it's that big of a deal, but that means starting district play in 2 weeks, that somebody is going to have a bye each and every week. And right off the bat, it's going to be Sanamaw. They're playing Scotlandville during their bye week.
And we are ready to kick this one off in the first quarter. So glad you joined us again on the Rev Game of the Week. I'm Jimmy Frederick, along with me, David Swacker, and a great, great crew behind the scenes. Kennedy elected to defer, and they will kick it away. Collected at the 8-yard line. He's got a little bit of running room across the 25 to the 27, and we'll take a look at our starting lineups for the offense for Sanamaw. This is how we'll start things off for Sanamaw, and they've got a very young offensive line. Cooper Babin is their quarterback. Connor Darr starting at quarterback. We will not see Tyree Williams. Quentin Elliser is the wide receiver along with Timothy Johnson, Caven Taylor, and Reed Mayer. Across the line, a 15-year-old, Ethan Lebo, Elijah Thornton, also a sophomore, Carter Babin, a sophomore, Sam Palacios, and Austin Baxter. There's your starting lineup for the Sanamaw Gators. Handoff up the middle. It will be Darr, and he will get a couple. Crosses the 30.
You know, you say, all right, let's see, we got a little fullback dive or inside zone if you're talking about the spread team. And just checking to see, and picks up 4 right there.
Brings up 2nd down and 6. We'll check the defensive starters in just a second. Again, Cooper Babin, junior starting quarterback, his 2nd year at quarterback. He hurt his shoulder, broke his collarbone actually in the first game of the year last year. Came back and played after 4 or 5 weeks. Fires one over the head of the intended receiver. It was intended for Quentin Elliser. Let's take a look at our defensive starters for the Cougars. They'll start like this on the other side of the ball. You've got Dominic Ruth, your defensive end, along with Grayson Powell. Kellen Hall is your defensive tackle. Your linebackers, Nathan Thomas, Calvin Sparrow, Amari Lewis. Defensive backs are Lyons, Shields, brothers, Kennedy and Kenny Tyler, and Keith Barra.
Don't get confused there, folks.
No, sir. I thought we had possibly made a mistake. Had the same guy in 2 positions, but that was not the case. Dropping back is Cooper. He'll fling one. In stride. Finds his man at the 35-yard line. Touchdown, Sanamaw. That was Timothy Johnson. Beautiful pass. We were commenting on just how well Babin throws the football, but that couldn't be any better. Right over the outstretched arm of the defender.
It is about as perfectly executed play from the protection of the offensive line. Did not break stride. And I'm going to just tell you, number 2 right there just outran everybody in that secondary. Great job right there.
67-yard touchdown strike. This will be Fierro to kick it through on the extra point, and it is good. We'll talk about Fierro as the game goes on, but we're going to take a quick break.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Well, that's the way you get off to a quick, fast start against a quick, fast defense. You basically just outgun them.
And, you know, what you would want to do as a defensive back, maybe apply a little pressure to him to slow him down. But Johnson, who is number 2 in our program, it started out at 84. But Johnson did an outstanding job of avoiding contact. And I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to talk to Coach Babin, Coach Benny Babin, and see where's this guy on our track team, because he got after that down that sideline And Cooper Babin, the throw was spectacular. And as I said, the offensive line did a great job in the protection.
Jace Fierro replacing a switchblade of a guy from last year. He did a great job, and this is well covered as it was taken by number 17, Kenny Tyler.
I did not understand what Tyler was doing. It looked like he was trying to count them and said, well, they have 5 of them coming. I'm just going to go down right here. Great job by the coverage. And look at this. At the 10-yard line, the kick was about to the 5, so that was a 5-yard return right there. You never see things like that in football nowadays. They're always getting, 15, 20, 30, 40 yards on a return. Not that time.
It was just beautifully kicked and beautiful coverage. And this is one of the keys to victory here, is making sure they're pinned deep. This is a quick pass. It is incomplete. Let's take a look at our offensive starters for the Cougars. We just saw the pass by the quarterback, Amon Derensberg. Omarion Brown will start at running back along with Evan Jones, Strouder, and Leyland, your wide receivers. Across the front, a small front. Solomon, Henry Frazier, Calvin Grant, Hawkins, and Green. Kylie Green only 240, and he's a sophomore.
And Coach Oliver talks about how that is a popular play, and you see it all the way up to the NFL. That quick little screen on the line of scrimmage, trying to make it a running play.
This will be a running play to Omarion Brown, and Brown is swallowed up at the 11-yard line, picks up 1. They may give him 2.
Santa Monica in that 3-4 look and having success right there, with the 4-receiver set.
Ronald Guillory, the outside linebacker, was the guy that made initial contact. Third down and 9 for the Cougars. Derensberg racked up 273 yards throwing the ball against Warren Easton. He'll drop back. He's got plenty of time. He's going to try to throw a dart, and that's going to be interference. No question about it, as number 5, the safety, is just basically Caleb Ricks. That's Caleb Ricks, the brother of Eli Ricks, just never got his head turned around and just pushed him down.
Yeah, and I'm going to, I have seen it so many times. You get to watch a little bit more football when you retire. And, boy, those officials, they are watching mainly one thing. Did you try to play the ball? And right there is basically, it looked like he never did turn his eyes around to try to find the ball. Moves it up, first down yardage, 15-yard penalty there.
But he was step for step with the receiver.
Yes.
A very solid receiver, very quick receiver. Caleb Ricks is nothing to sneeze at the cornerback spot. His brother playing for the Eagles currently.
And Santa Monica set up here in 2 safeties, just trying to hopefully handle the run with the 5 front people.
Strength of the defense is their interior linebackers in line. They're going to try to get him outside, and Omarion Brown goes nowhere. He's run out of bounds again by Ronald Guillory.
I think this was Guillory on the outside right here with his hands on the defender and not allowing that running back to get outside, and then the safety comes up to also help on the tackle.
They worked on it all week long, preached it. Second down and 8 for the Cougars. Derensberg calls for the football. He's got some time, steps up in the pocket, air mails it over his intended receiver, number 4, James Evans. Let's take a look at the defensive starters. We haven't done that yet for Santa Monica. They'll set up like this. We've got across the front Gavin Carpenter, Jacoby Davis, and Abear. And then in the linebackers, Sal Zarullo, Ronald Guillory, we've called his name already, Evan Williams, Wesley Dykes, son of defensive coordinator Jay Dykes, Caleb Ricks and Brown are your cornerbacks, and your safeties, Donald Schoenberg and M.J. Dunn.
Well, and you see right here, they go to a 4th down lineman where you only have one linebacker.
3rd down and 8. Out of the gun. Oh, jailbreak, nowhere to go. Gavin Hebert, he got it off, and they didn't wrap him up. And guess what? Omari Brown is still on his feet, but he only picks up 2. Boy, I looked down for 2 seconds thinking that play was over.
And great job right there by the rush. And probably just as great a job as that quarterback getting that ball off. Now, I'm not real, I think Coach L. Page would be going, look, just get rid of it. Just throw it over the receiver's head, out of bounds, and we'll live another day. But, right there, that could be pick 6 easily.
But that was a falling down play where you have your 205-pound senior Hebert draped around your body. Pretty good to even think about getting it off. Brings up 4th down, they'll punt it away. This will be Nahan Leyland. It will be fair caught at the 36-yard line by Myers. Let's take a look while we have a second at our District 5-5A records. We start off with Dutchtown. They're in the lead with a 2-0 record along with Walker. Denham Springs is 1-1. East Ascension also 1-1. Prairieville 1-1. Sanama 0-1. Of course, they're the only one that hasn't played 2 games. This is their second game now. And then Live Oak is 0-2.
Yeah, and I think once the district gets going, Sanama is going to be able to move up, and have get victories right there during their district schedule.
Handoff on the RPO, and it'll be number 6 carrying the football. First time we've seen him tonight. That is, check. That is Connor Darr. I apologize. I've got a wrong number on Connor Darr. Darr picks up 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. The Gators on offense for their second possession of the night. Trying to dance his way into the middle of the defense and doesn't get much. Darr carries once again, making initial contact coming up from his linebacker spot is Calvin Sparrow. He's a Grambling commitment.
And Darr, picking up 5 yards and 2 carries right there with that offensive line, hoping that we could get a little bit of movement and break through those linebackers.
Offensive line is big, but they are young. And when you think about a 15-year-old Ethan Lebo playing left tackle, man, that is just hard to imagine. Of course, he is 6'4", 295 as a sophomore. Dropping back. Babin dumps it off. Meyer just takes his eye off of it and loses the handle, and they'll have to punt it away.
Had a little drag right across the field, a shallow drag right there. And you're hoping that you could catch that on the run and outrun the pursuit of the secondary, pick up a first down.
This is a little bit of the issue that they had against Bird, is not converting on those 3rd down and basically not short, but easy, mid-range 3rd downs. Fierro will put his foot into it. Again, taking over for Easton Jaro, who did everything for this team last year, and that is a boot. Driving back the defender, that is number 4. And he, again, waits for the defense to get to him, James Evans, and he gave ground all the way back to the 7-yard line.
And if you see that situation, look at the line of defenders for the Gators. Great job by the punt team, not allowing anybody to get outside and gang tackle with about 8 defenders right there.
So they started on their own 10-yard line and punted, and now they're starting on their own 1-yard line. I didn't see the penalty. It must have been a block in the back or a hold.
But no, you can't put the ball at the 1-yard line.
There we go.
Yeah, so it was at the 10,
no penalty.
half
Okay.
the distance to the goal.
They'll mark it at the 6-yard line, so they'll start at their own 6. Oliver's special teams doing their jobs in this first quarter. 7:38 left to go here in the opening stanza. 7-0 is our score. Quick strike on the third play of the game for Sanamaw. And now they do back them up inside the 1 yard line. I still didn't see the flag come out or an explanation. 1st and 10 from the 1, or the half yard line if you want to call it that. Amant will run it himself. Derensberg will break one tackle, but he doesn't go much further than that. Picks up 4 back to the 5 yard line.
You got basically a little zone read or a fake and go right there where the end comes down. Quarterback keeps it outside. Sanamaw does a very good job of getting to the ball with a number of tacklers.
They are going to be spying Derensberg all night long. Those linebackers are going to keep an eye on him because they know he can break a long run at any time. 2nd down and about 7. Handoff to Brown. Brown slips. Simply slips down and loses a yard.
And, you know, you're running – I'm not real sound with that on running the sweep outside into the sideline. And the angle for the linebackers is very simple to get there. But then the safety gets off the block or the outside backer. And Gators do an outstanding job creating a 3rd and 7 or 8 situation.
Junior Kenneth Chelsea is checked into the game at running back. Timeout called by the Cougars. While we have a second, we're going to take a look at non-district games that are going to be happening this week. They've got a lot of them. We're getting close. Next week, we're getting into starting some district play. Of course, tonight we know where we've got the Sanamaw Kennedy game. Colgate Baton Rouge is playing at Dutchtown. EA is playing at Sam Houston. They got a little traveling to do. Riverside is at Prairieville, Denham Springs at Woodlawn, Ponchatoula at Live Oak, and Walker at Central. Central's been playing some pretty good football early on in the season.
Well, I think we had the game last year in the quarterfinals, and I'm going to tell you what, Central could have been probably easily advancing to that semifinal game against Zachary.
Yep.
Just did not work out for them. But I'm going to tell you, Central, it looks to me like, number one, they're very well coached, and they're very sound at all of their positions.
Third down and 7.
Well, let's see. You got bump and run here.
You got 3 wide to the top of your screen. Got some time. Now he's going to break out of the pocket and get some yardage, get some running room up the seam. He's still on his feet at the 50-yard line. I'm not sure anybody's going to catch him. At the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. Oh, my goodness, he took it from the 4, a 96-yard touchdown run, exactly what we said they needed to be careful of.
And, you know, it's like he was just kind of feeling things out, and then all of a sudden he says, I think I could go the distance here. And which is exactly what he did. And remember, you know, he had right at 100 yards rushing last week against Warren Easton.
"96 yards to the house." Leyland will put his foot into it for the extra point. It is up and good, and we have a tie ball game. Wow, we're going to catch our breath. We'll be back right after this. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week. We're knotted up at 7, midway through the first quarter.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
What a run by the Cougars. Darrensburg took it to the house, ties the ball game up at 7 apiece in the first quarter. There it is right there. Look at it. He just kind of takes his time and lets the defenders kind of run past him. But he was a leisurely stroll, it looked like.
That's what you call a well-coached kid.
This one will be collected at the 3-yard line by Myers. Myers will get back to the 20 and not much more, so about an 18-yard return. That's the hydration timeout. I have failed to introduce the third member of our football squad broadcasting team, Jolie Hartman. Jolie?
It's a sad scene for the Gator Nation to see Santa Ma's dual threat in varsity basketball and football. Jermichael J. Mike Million. J. Mike was a first-team all-district standout in both football and basketball last season for the Gators. The Wednesday before the Gators' first game, J. Mike torn his ACL at practice and will have surgery October 1st. With that, J. Mike will miss the rest of the season for football. And J. Mike told me before this that his goal is to rehab after his surgery October 1st to try to get back to basketball by the end of the season. Back up to y'all.
Thanks so much, Jolie. Man, what a loss it was to have their all-district player out like that. And it's just good to see him out there and supporting the squad and supporting his teammates. We wish Jermichael all the best. Pass, what a hit! Folded up like a dirty shirt on the side over there at the 25-yard line, but the catch is made, and he held on to it. Picks up 6. Watch it right here. And he is going to be just upended. It was number 80, Elazar, making the catch. Babin calls for the football. Being chased, going to dump it off on a little screen pass. Well set up, but right a little bit out of the reach of Connor Darr, and that will fall harmlessly to the turf, but it'll bring up third down. Tyree Williams is normally in it. He normally starts, but he pulled a groin. And so he was a game-time decision, and unfortunately they decided not to play him. But, we haven't really talked about it much, Coach, but this is a MASH unit for the Gators. I mean, there are so many guys banged up, and it's only week 3. And they've only played 1 week of games. Babin. That it will be called interference. Intended for Timothy Johnson. Well covered, but I guess he was well covered because he was being hung on.
And it looks to me like it was the same situation right there. As you could see, he's upset with the call, but he never looked back at the ball. And I think everybody could make that call right there. It's pretty simple.
So the first big penalty of the game the second penalty of the game for the Cougars gives the Gators a first down all the way, to the 41-yard line. Finds a seam, picks up 12. Darr, I didn't think he was going to get out of that scrum, and all of a sudden he shot out like a cannonball.
Well, you could see that Darr just gets low, and everybody kind of runs right by him, and he picks up at least 20, 25 on that play. Basically untouched at about 20 yards.
So Cougars commit another penalty on that play. That'll give them another 15 yards.
Yeah, Jimmy, I'm going to tell you, there's one thing worse than a 5-yard penalty. That's these 10 and 15-yarders, because it shortens that field real quick.
We picked up 12 on the run, another 15. I mean, that's a 27-yard play. Dropping back, Babin's got time. Chunks it toward the corner of the end zone. Caught, touchdown. They are pitching and catching. Myers on the grab. A beautifully thrown ball by Super Babin.
And I'm going to tell you, watch the outside, a little in and out, a little wheel route right there, and it's man-to-man, and they do not get on the wheel going down the sideline, and an outstanding job by Myers and Cooper Babin on the pass.
Fierro on to kick his second extra point of the night. Made the first one easily. Fierro up and good. So we are watching some explosive offense for this Gator squad, and they have really cleaned up some of the mistakes that they made in that Bird game in these 2 weeks that they've had. I know they didn't get a lot of practice time last week, but still they have made head and shoulder strides in between that week 1 and week 3.
And the one thing that I see, Jimmy, it looks to me like when you start getting beat deep, those DBs start backing up before the ball snapped. So it could be a pre-snap read. And are they really getting a pre-snap read, and they really dropping deep, a lot deeper, and you'll be able to hit these little hitches and little outs and stuff like this because they don't want to get beat where? Deep.
What a beautiful shot there as the sun's setting here in Santa Maria. The pit is rocking on a Thursday night.
Now Kennedy brings their band and their pep squad and cheerleaders.
Fierro boots this one deep. It will be taken at the 2-yard line, bobbled but picked right back up. It's number 4, Evans. Evans has got some running room. Check that. That's number 6. It was Strouder. Strouder's going to take it to the house. Are there any flags? Yes, there is a flag back here at the 30-yard line, but he still took it 94 yards.
And basically untouched.
Well, when you don't stop and let the defenders get on top of you and then give ground, you can do all kinds of good stuff. But that was Strouder, Evans was the one doing that. Strouder did a much better job.
So I'm not real certain, but it just looks to me like Kennedy has this attitude of, are we going to be able to kick an extra point, or are we going to have to start 1st and 10 from the
They're waving off the flag. That's a touchdown.
It's going to be extra point time.
Our referee is John Brendel. It was actually 94 yards on that return.
And that was after he muffed it.
Yeah.
Gave him a little bit more time to think.
Leyland will try to tie this game. I mean, this is a back-and-forth offensive battle. Kick is up, and it looks like it's through the uprights, and we will take a break as we are knotted at 14. 4:24 left to go here in the first quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got more on the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for over 30 years. Here at Chris's, we do the prep work so you can be the hero at your house. We have expanded to 4 locations and now serve home-cooked hot plate lunches at our new Highland location. It takes a lot of technology to keep us running. We use REV Business and have all 4 of their services. If you have multiple locations, REV is the perfect partner for your point of sale and telephone. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
Each team has had the ball 3 times. Each team has scored on big plays. That's why we're 14-14 here with 4 left to go, 4 minutes left.
And the plays that we're getting are very big plays.
Yes.
And our completion percentage on the long ball seems like it's better than on the shorter pass.
Meyer and Johnson are set to receive the kick back at their own 5-yard line. Lalane will again kick it off. So our kickers are getting a lot of work on both sides of the ball.
No doubt about that one.
Myers, who caught that touchdown pass a little bit ago. He's got a little bit of a hole in the middle of the field, and he will be slung down at the 28-yard line. Good coverage that time by number 3, Kennedy Tyler.
A good job there by Myers catching the ball on the first hop.
So they've started, this is their 4th possession offensively, 27, 36, 20, and 30. So not terrible field position, not nearly like the Cougars have been way pinned back. There's the screen. They finally catch this one. It looked right into the breadbasket, picks up 11.
So that's the thing that I'm talking about is you've beaten this corner, and his first step, if he's schooled up, it's the back pedal.
Yep.
And you throw that ball, you can throw it at 5 yards, you can throw it at right at the line of scrimmage. The other guy blocks, and you pick up 8 or 9 on that play.
Thought he got a couple more, but you're right, 9 on that one or 8. This will be a handoff to Jaquan Jordan, his first carry of the night. He'll pick up the first down. That's what they needed. I wanted to see them convert a third down without a penalty or without just a big play. Just convert that 2 yards.
A little bit more, maybe a power back here. Dar did an outstanding job in his 4 or 5 carries.
Riley Rizzuto will check into the ball game for the first time for the Gators. Dumping it across the middle, diving for it. Did he make the grab? He did. What a play by Jordan.
Nice job on the little swing out to the outside right there.
And he just had to dive for it. Sell out. Picks up 6. Jordan will steamroll his way for 2. But the defensive front decided they weren't going to let him get much more than that. They weren't going to let him pull a Dar on him.
And Jordan looks like he was saying, all right, I'm fixing to get it right here, run between the tackles. And he got after it pretty hard for a couple of yards, creating a 3rd and 1 situation.
We've got a player down while we have a second. Let's take a look at the non-district results from last week, Coach. Dutchtown steamrolls Ponchatoula. East Ascension and Salmon. Did you get to see anything on that game? 38-15 over Salmon.
And the amazing thing is, well, you got Salmon, over the years have been all right. Ponchatoula has definitely been. They were in the Dome a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And it looks like the tide's changing a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what, I just know, what the school board said, no after-school activities. That means band, cheerleading, whatever.
Yep.
And it's amazing that you took a trip to Ponchatoula, Dutchtown. You took a trip to Salmon, Slidell. That's East Ascension. And if you look at the score, it looks like they handled them both pretty easily.
Well, you got Parkview over Prairieville just rolled a 53-13. Central, as we talked about, playing good football, 31-6 over Denham. Dunham, that is just an interesting situation at Dunham with the quarterbacks that they have, 27-10. And Walker over Woodlawn, 34-14. So strong showing by the 5-5A district teams there for the most part. This will be Dar, and Dar will just lower his head and barrel his way for a couple.
Jimmy, the one that I want to watch in the other district, it's not going to be Zachary. We know they're going to be good. we know Catholic's going to be good. I'm really impressed with the games that they've scheduled. Zachary and Acadiana,
Yep.
Catholic and St. Thomas More, Central, and not necessarily, Denham, but it's a big rivalry game. You would think that would be a little bit tighter.
Boy, Catholic squeaked one out against St. Thomas More a couple of weeks ago. Dropping back is Babin. Babin finds his man. Oh, almost intercepted as number 7, Calvin Sparrow, the Grambling commitment, was just sitting back in the zone. And he is a big man. He is about 6'2", and luckily for the Gators, he couldn't hang on to it. Brings up a long 3rd and 8.
Now, this is the 3rd down situation that you don't like to have. Basically in an empty formation.
They've only converted 1 3rd down without a penalty, and this one is incomplete, and they will not convert this one. So they've had, I think they're 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. And it'll bring up 4th, and they'll punt it away. But with that said, Fierro's doing his job and flipping the field every time he's kicked the football. Still in the first quarter. It seems like it's been a long one. 156, and he boots this one. Let's see if it'll check up, and it will hit at the 2 and roll into the end zone. So a touchback. But, boy, it is smooth coming off his foot.
And here we are with 28 points scored in the first half. No, take that back. First quarter. And it's amazing. This game has been going by, you would think, very quick, but the time has not run off because of the big plays that have been made.
Well, at least we're not seeing something like Tennessee did in the first half last weekend, where they had 64 in the first half. I did a double take when I saw that on TV. 1:48 to go here in the first quarter. Knotted at 14. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Cougars. Last time Darrensburg touched the ball, he went 96 yards. He'll hand it off this time to James Evans. Nowhere to go because the swarming Gator defense shut him down. Number 40 on the stop, Wesley Dykes.
Dykes has been doing a very good job in that first game of the year. He's kind of your ringleader there on defense at the linebacker spot.
In the Bird game, he had a sack and a tackle for a loss. Brings up 2nd and 9. They'll give it to Brown. Brown will bounce it outside, and he is going to be chased down from behind. Flag will fly. I'm wondering if they're going to call a horse collar.
You are correct.
That's a big penalty because they were really bottling him up.
That's exactly how it should look if you try to run a sweep into the sideline right there.
Face mask, not a horse collar.
Yeah, there is not enough room. Oh, yeah, right hand on the face mask.
Easy call for the side judge. 15-yarder, a big one. Boy, I tell you what, neither one of these teams are getting little penalties. They're going to say, if we're going to get a penalty, we might as well just get it all.
And I will. The positive thing is that, I know there was a face mask involved, but that wasn't why he got tackled right there.
Right.
I mean, the Gators were right there on that stretch scramble play.
1st and 10, the penalty moves him to the 36-yard line. Batted down. The big arms of number 26, Jacoby Davis, standing 6'3", only a sophomore. And he does exactly what you're taught to do. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up and knock the ball down if you can.
It's a big plus because, a lot of times at Santa Maria, you don't see the tall kid out on this football field. Good job right there getting the hands up.
Didn't hit him in the hand, it hit him in the elbow. Second down. Out of the gun, dumping it off on the screen. He will be met immediately as soon as he catches the football right at the line of scrimmage. And I believe that was number 9, Omarion Brown. Salzarulo makes the immediate tackle. Good coverage from his linebacker spot. Third and 10. 7 seconds left, and that is going to do it for the first quarter. It has been a lengthy first quarter, but an exciting one. We've had the cannon go off a couple of times, and we are tied at 14 apiece. We will head to the second quarter, but not before we take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the Gators and the Cougars live on the REV Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Let's take a look at the Class 5A top 10 for Week 3. Ruston, we'll go 10-1. How about that? Ash is 2-0. They're number 10. St. Aug is also 2-0. John Curtis comes in at 8 at 1-1. Destrehan is 1-1. Zachary at 6. Neville is number 5. Acadiana 4, and then Catholic High, Carr, and Ruston round out the top 10.
And this is what my buddies say. This Carr team is unbelievable. Of course, they're going to be in the select division. Ruston, they're in the non-select. Of course, they're the state champ from last year also. But, boy, you have some games going on. And Neville, I guess they've moved up to the 5A ranks.
I guess so.
Because they got tired of being bumped up to 5A.
That's right.
Whether they like it or not. So, Neville looks like they're getting after it with a 2-0 mark there so far this season.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Cougars. They have been stymied here on this possession so far. Minus
big play right here.
New quarterback. It's number 4. The flag will fly. It's going to be holding. He's got some running room. To the 30-yard line. That was James Evans running out of the Wildcat. Flag flew right around where holding would be, and I think they're going to be bringing this one back. I'm not going to say one way or another if the holding actually sprung the play, but there was a lot of room for him to run. Huge hole right here. There's the hold, and it was on they were holding Jacoby Davis. He could have made the play possibly, but there was a lot of running room out in front of him.
And just watching the turnover of his knees and his feet right there. So I refer to that as being fast and quick.
Boy, and those are two different things, aren't they, Coach? You can be fast and not quick.
No doubt about it. Once you get into the little seam,
yep,
you can become fast then.
Brings up 3rd and 20. Still running out of the Wildcat, it looks like. Looking for somebody to throw to. Breaks contain and gets away from one of the defenders. He will have a little bit of running room, but he will only pick up 9 on the carry before being chased down by number 49, linebacker Evan Williams, the senior. So they'll have to punt this one away again, but they're going to have a discussion because there is a flag on the play.
So would you move it back? Let's say it's 10-yard penalty.
No, I'd punt it.
Come on, Coach.
Huh? But you can't. You gotta back it up. It is holding.
I know exactly what you're thinking, because it could be 4th and 30, and that means that's 3.5 seconds. That could be a first down or touchdown. Quarterback is outstanding.
Yep. Myers will come out to receive the punt.
And you never know, man, right here. There you go. Your punter's counting, see how many he's got protecting. You don't have an outside.
There's the gunner.
Gunner coming in.
Lalane will put his foot into it. He's also a good punter, and a fair catch will be called for at the 29-yard line by Myers. So they'll take over 1st and 10 with the Gators. And they'll do so from their own 29-yard line. Basically where they've started all their drives, right in that vicinity today.
So we're starting district next week. And Santa Ma's at Scotlandville.
1st and 10 Gators, their first possession of the second quarter. Little check with me at the line. Here we go. Cooper calls for the football. Play action, drops back, throws it across the middle. And that one, I'm not sure if he expected Johnson to be a little bit, maybe broke a little further back than he expected him to, but that pass was definitely short.
Yeah, I think that was just a one-receiver route. It looked like trying to hit him on a little deeper slant.
Just pressed a little bit, it looked like. He kind of aimed it instead of threw it. Still, there was 2 defenders right there on him.
No doubt.
2nd and 10. Oh, he'll pull it back. He's going to try to run it himself, and not the decision that he should have made that time. He really had to yank it from Dar because Dar didn't want to give it up. He'll lose 3 and make it 5, actually, on the play. And he is swallowed up that time.
You had some stunts right there that kind of eliminated the B and C gaps.
Mm-hmm. Calvin Solomon slung him down. 3rd and 15. I don't want to harp on it, although I know I am, but these are the frustrating plays right here on 3rd down for Coach Oliver. Dropping back. Pocket collapses. Babin's got a little bit of running room, but not a lot. He was spied by the outside linebacker. Actually, the safety came up to make the play.
I like the play. He ran that wheel route again, just did not have enough time to get set and throw it down that sideline. Basically, they had 3 receivers with only 2 DBs covering that.
So the Gators will punt it. It's either touchdown or punt for these guys. No sustained drives on either side of the ball. 9:23 as the clock ticks. End over end punt. It'll bounce up short and take a Cougar bounce. Well, now it's going to roll around a little bit before the Gators stop it there. As we change possessions, let's take a look at district games for next week. You've already mentioned that we're going to be doing the Dutchtown Prairieville game on REV next Friday. East Ascension at Denham Springs, a big, big game for them. And Walker Live Oak, Santa Ma, Scotlandville. Any of that jump out at you?
I'm going to tell you what, I just believe this is going to be gigantic for Denham Springs against East Ascension. Because either they just had a bad night and we could get this corrected against a very good East Ascension team, or maybe they're not that good of a team.
Right.
You know, I want to see, with EA traveling to the west side of the state, see how they do there.
My word, Gavin Carpenter blew through the offensive line and just smoked the running back. Chelsea carried. He will lose 3 on that one.
And Scotlandville's another one. They've kind of sunk down a little bit in that district over there. But, you know, you can be very average against Catholic, Zachary, Central, all those, and might still be in the playoffs.
Yep. Plenty of time. The offensive line then breaks down a little bit, and he will be taken down for a sack. Carpenter, I mean, it was a jailbreak.
I'm going to tell you what, Carpenter did an outstanding job of not committing to the inside too quick, and that guy scoots outside, and we're off to the races then. But he sits there and he reads the quarterback, sees that little hole right there, and Carpenter uses those hands to get that blocker off of him. And when he grabbed hold to him and he held on, and as you can see, the 3rd and 14 situation.
Yeah, it was Calvin Solomon that got tossed aside by Carpenter that time, and that's going to be a timeout on the field. It will be taken by the Cougars, and we'll take it along with them. We'll be right back. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week. The Gators and the Cougars tied at 14. Back after this.
For tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
The offensive line, we've kind of mentioned it a little bit, is an undersized offensive line for playing a team like Santamon. But so far, the Cougar line has held up fairly well, although in the last few plays, we've seen the Gators get in the backfield a little bit more readily.
They haven't thrown one down the field lately.
They're still trying to see if they can get Kingston Jones at 199 yards receiving last week. Hadn't touched the football yet. This one's a lot of room to run. He's got some room, does Derensburg. Derensburg still on his feet, makes a cut, and just breaks the ankles of our safety, of Santamore's safety, all the way down to the 20-yard line.
You just don't have anybody that's kind of spying that guy. And if you do, I'm not real certain it needs to be a big man.
No, 52 yards on that carry. 1st and 10 for the Cougars, and they'll move the chains. That move right there was just wicked. I mean, just sick.
He's making like Z-cut moves at full speed.
Right. He stuck that foot in the ground, and man.
Just one of those things you just don't coach, Jimmy.
Yep. Now he's going to throw toward the end zone, and that was a busted coverage, and the Gators are lucky as all get out because he was wide open, intended for James Evans. I mean, he couldn't have been more wide open if he was the only one on the field.
Well, watch the inside receiver. Boom, right down the sideline now.
And that is a throw that Derensburg didn't miss against Easton.
No doubt. And, you know, he didn't have the greatest of nights stats-wise. I think he was like, 11 for 16 or something like that.
Just picks it up in big chunks.
But, you know, if you're throwing that ball down the field and you complete 3 out of 5 and those 3 are touchdowns, that's successful.
The Cougars will take a timeout, and we'll stay right here with you. Let's take a look at the 3A top 10 for the week number 3. De La Salle is 0-2, but they're 10th in the state. Madison Prep also 0-2, and they're number 9. Bastrop is number 8. Gina, then Bunkie. JFK, we've already mentioned it, number 5 in the state in 3A. Sterlington, followed by Northwest. U-High's in there at number 2. And St. James is seems to be back. I remember the heyday. They've had several heydays, but I remember when, Lil Narcisse was in there quarterbacking, and just a lot of guys out there at St. James.
I don't know if you've been by the new school.
I have not.
But I've passed it 1,000 times. They got land galore, which, most schools can't say that. They have, all brand new things. New track, new football field, new basketball, the whole shooting match. And, probably the best thing that St. James has is the only other school in that parish is Lutcher.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what, school board does a good job. They take care of them just like it happens here in Ascension Parish.
Boy, I remember calling some of those Lutcher St. James games back.
I was hoping the St. Charles and Lutcher game was called because of the hurricane. That could have been totally outstanding.
2nd and 10 Cougars. Ball resting at the Santa Maria 22-yard line. Going to be a swing pass, a little screen. Out toward the side. He is hit hard. It was complete to Brown, and then it was blown up. Actually, that was Strouder on the reception. Number 40, our linebacker, Wesley Dykes, makes the tackle. 3rd and 6. Cougars looking to break the deadlock here. Chelsea, the lone setback.
They're a little snug right here on this side.
Option off the hands. It's going to be picked up by... Did the Gators get it? It was bouncing around there, and there's a flag flying late. The Gators say they have the football. No signal yet from the official. They were plus 17 in takeaways last year. That is why one of the reasons they were 9-1 and went to the playoffs. So far this season, they're -3. If they get this one, they'll be back to -2. And it does look like, well, I shouldn't speak too soon.
Well, something must have happened when both teams were fighting for the ball. Here's the official going to let us know.
John
and
Brindle.
You hear, I see Cooper Babin giving the signal. It's against the Cougars.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Gators are going to offset, but the Gators will retain possession after recovering the fumble. Let's take a look again.
Now, this is the first time they've run that play. I thought he was going to catch that on the big hop.
I did too. And then he lost it, and it's still flopping around. And I didn't see exactly where the penalty came in, but the officials were right there on top of it. So the Gators will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Oh, it's a great angle here by our camera guys. If they offset, why are they backing it up?
I think they're marking both.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't remember. I guess I've seen it. I paid attention to it, but
I've seen that, but that was 25 years ago.
So, just a quick back and forth, up and down. For the officials, they place the ball, the nose of the football resting at the 29-yard line. See it again right there. There was some confusion. The flag will fly, and it's going to be an offsides call. The first small penalty we've seen in the game so far. 5-yarder. They'll donate 5 yards to the cause for the Gators. Bring up 1st and 5. Got a great interview lined up for you with our third member of the broadcast team at halftime. Jolie Hartman will be talking with Christina Carter the Sandoval principal. That's going to be great. It's going to be down on the field. Looking forward to that. Handoff to Jaquan Brown. Check that. Jordan. And that's the first down. A big pickup of about 8.
Good job. That's the first time I've seen them do that, where they pull in that guard and tackle, and running that little counter, that little trap.
The contrasting styles between Dar and Jordan, just really interesting to watch. When you put Jordan in there, he is a bruising runner. And Dar seems to be more of a little scat back. You know, he got through that hole earlier. Passes up, and he is overthrown his intended receiver, Johnson. And luckily, the cornerback was not able to run under it. That was number 10, Keith Barros.
Well, the Gators are missing, their starting running back, Tyree Williams. Connor Darr, he is solid in everything that he does at the running back spot. This Tyree's maybe just a little bit more physical.
We hope he can get back for next week. Again, it was a game-time decision. There's a handoff. He hit the hole very quickly, did Jordan, and Jordan will pick up 4 yards. You can't ask much more than that for a running back between the tackles. If you can just keep picking up 4 and 5 yards at a pop, hard to stop.
It's all about getting movement on that lineman and then maybe sliding off to that linebacker. And
hydration timeout, and we will keep it here. How about we take a look at the Sandoval Gators schedule for the season coming up. First game of the year, of course, was the loss to C.E. Bird out of Shreveport, 26-10. Didn't play Cecilia because of the storm. Here we're playing Kennedy. And then it's Scotlandville, Dutchtown, Walker, and East Ascension. That's a tough 3-game slate.
And let me just start with Bird here. Sometimes Coach Oliver, he gets a mark against him, with playing some teams out of New Orleans that might not. C. Bird is a very well-coached team out of North Cecilia, second in the state in 4A last year. John Kennedy lost in the quarterfinals to Shaw, who you saw in a scrimmage here. Scotlandville, I'm not real certain, but I do know one thing. They got athletes at that place.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how well that can get going.
Well, if they can get some of the guys healthy and get some of these guys back, and he just dumps it off, Babin, that was a coverage play right there. They were well covered downfield. Good job by the secondary for the Cougars. And you'll just see Babin looking, keeps his eyes downfield, and he realizes, I got nothing. I'm just tucking it out of bounds. The one thing he had to be careful of, and I'm pretty sure he did, but it wasn't much further than the line of scrimmage.
Right. Well, I'm not sure about that one, but the one thing I would want to check is, did he have a receiver somewhere in that low area?
Fierro's getting a lot of action with his foot, and he will line drive this one. It'll bounce at the 25-yard line and roll down. Why would he let it roll down and pick it up? And he will be dropped right there at the 4-yard line, and a flag will come in late.
Yeah, good job by the punt team right there. Because you could have got a little lazy right there thinking he's not going to pick that ball up. And then all of a sudden, he picks it up, and good job there by the punt team. Gang tackling the ball carrier.
We're going to have to sort this out and see what the flag was on. I mean, it was called against Sandoval, and we'll watch it here. I think you got to get out of the way of that one myself. I know they might pin you back, but that's a dangerous play. And I don't know if it was was it a face mask? I didn't see the official signal.
Well, I go right off the bat, no matter what level you're playing football, you got to catch the punt.
Well, that's a good point.
You got to catch the punt. You got to run up and catch the punt. You can always be protected with the fair catch, but letting it hit a turf field you know, you ought to be blamed for whatever bad happens after that on the return guy.
15-yard penalty moves him up to the 22-yard line. It will be a quarterback keeper from Darrensburg, and Darrensburg will pick up a couple.
Got a little outside power right there, and that could be an interesting play because you're going to read the defensive end right there. He goes out, you pull it, and, of course, right there, is that 90? Or maybe that was a Carpenter.
Yeah, I thought Carpenter was in on that stop.
Yeah. Good job right there coming down that line of scrimmage making a play.
2-yard pickup for Darrensburg that time. This defense has come to play, and they have really shut down the long ball for the most part tonight. This will be a handoff, and Brown will get around the right side, still on his feet. You got to wrap these guys up and get them on the turf because they are strong enough to break the tackle and keep running. Picks up a first down. Kind of what we've been seeing with LSU sometimes is they wrap them up and they don't get them on the ground. Or they don't wrap up. What's your thoughts on Saturday's ball game?
Last Saturday?
No. This one coming up with UCLA.
40-10 LSU. I think they just need to make some steps forward in a positive direction.
Yep. High pass, but able to be controlled. Darrensburg will complete it, and then there's just swarm of Gators to the ball, and that is what you like to see. Just a basically 11 guys, 11 black hats on the ball.
You know, when you talk about that LSU, that SEC is unbelievable. I mean, you know, I had a coach tell me one time it's hard to get up for big games each and every week.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do that in the playoffs most of the time, maybe after the first round.
Right.
I just don't know how you can make it through all of that tough schedules, especially coming from maybe behind a little bit.
Plenty of time. The offensive line doing their job. Now the pocket breaks down a little bit. He slips a little. He'll have to come back to the ball, does number 6, Strouder, and he cannot quite get back to the ball. But he slipped when he threw it, or right before he threw it, did Darrensburg. And he's lucky he even got it to the receiver.
Well, and number 6 right there, Strouder, he was all alone.
Yeah. See him slip right there. His left foot kind of slipped out from under him, causing him to throw it low. Brings up third down. Neither team has been stellar on third down. Looking for somebody to throw to. He heaves it up. It's a floater, and it will be caught. I got to say, you got mossed.
You're watching too much TV.
I tell you, that was a heck of a catch by James Evans. Right over number 36, Brody Meir.
You know, Meir backpedaled, got in position, and just did not time his jump.
It definitely floated on him a little bit. That was not the ball we've been seeing him throw in pregame warm-ups. Timeout on the field taken by the Gators. 2:26 left to go here in the half. We're still tied at 14 apiece. While we have a minute, let's take a look at the Cougars' upcoming schedule. They started off with Scotlandville, and they handled them fairly easily, 37-20. Then they had that big game against Warren Easton. And St. Paul's comes up next week for them, followed by John Ehret, Booker T, Sophie B. Wright. That's a pretty good slate of games for them in the New Orleans area.
And I'm not concerned about John Ehret, but I just don't see the results of them being dominating like they usually are.
Right.
And again, I'm just like you, Livingston Collegiate.
Had to practice a little bit. I thought it was Colgate for a minute. To let my 10-year-old read it next time. First and 10, Cougars.
Well, Kennedy's got a nice crowd. Gators, like always, a nice crowd.
Plenty of time. He'll throw it. I think he crossed the line of scrimmage when he did so. The pass is caught in the end zone, but he was across the line of scrimmage when he threw the pass. It was complete to Strouder. If it holds, it'll be a 24-yard touchdown pass, but I'm pretty sure.
25-yard line. I'm not sure.
Still think he was across the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Could have been.
Let's watch him here. The line of scrimmage is the 25. Well, your whole body has to be across the line, so that actually probably wasn't. But he was wide open in the corner of the end zone and good vision for Derensburg to find his man. But it will be negated with the holding penalty. The Cougars have had 9 penalties tonight, and it's only the first half. 2:16 to go in the half.
Let's kind of watch and see what happens in the middle of this defense with Dykes. See him, number 40, right there in the middle.
Along with Anthony Salzarulo. Got time, only a 3-man rush. Everybody goes back to prevent the long touchdown, and he'll have to throw this one away. Had a receiver in the vicinity, but I do believe he chunked this one away, or at least it got away from him a bit.
Dykes, on that play, he checked everything, saw the backpedaling by the quarterback, so he dropped into that middle zone area.
Clock should have started on the snap, and it did not. It is still 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the half. Brings up 2nd and 22.
And who's going to get the ball to start the second half?
The Cougars. 3-man rush breaks down. Wide open receiver, but he can't hang on. Kind of timed his jump a little awkwardly. Again, Strouder, they're going to him a lot tonight. He didn't get a lot of looks last week.
Nice throw all the way across the field, basically to an out route. Got to have a pretty good arm to be able to do that.
3rd down. I think he just thought it was going to get there just a split second sooner than it did, and it caused him to just mistime it.
Well, you know, when you're on the left hash and you're running out all the way across the field, you're probably thinking, I'm not getting this ball.
Right. But with an arm like Derensburg, you better be ready all the time. Derensburg is going to heave one toward the end zone and tattoos one of the band members, a flag on the play. This is the longest half of football that I can remember in a while. Holding, that's the 10th penalty. And it's not for insignificant yardage either. These aren't little false starts.
You know, they declined the penalty, and I can understand that. I would think it's still going to get maybe a shot at the goal line. Or maybe this is the punt team coming out.
Yeah, it looks like Leland will come in with just under 2 minutes to play in the half.
So we're talking about 16 passes he threw last week. You know, I see some receivers look like maybe a little bit of fatigue because they have run a lot of not dinky routes. They've run a lot of long routes.
Yeah. They're certainly not looking at the underneath routes much at all. I am impressed with the ability of this undersized offensive line for the Cougars to hold off. I know they're only rushing 3, sometimes 4, but they're still giving him time to throw the football. The secondary has done a fairly good job, except for a few breakdowns. of keeping the receivers pretty well covered, but when they've broken down, it's been big breakdowns.
And I will give Coach Dykes credit. Maybe some adjustments that were made on the sidelines, but you haven't seen the big play in the running game on the scramble and stuff like this for a while. And you look at it, 14-14, the big play is not there for both teams.
They've dried up a little bit. Looked like we were going to have a shootout on our hands midway through the first quarter. So the Gators did call that timeout, and now they will punt it away, will JFK. Nope, they're going to fake it. Nope, now he's going to punt it. Thought about throwing it. And that will be perfectly executed down to the 4-yard line. So the Gators will have 1st and 10. They'll have 1:46 to work. They've got 2 timeouts left. They're at their own 4-yard line.
So what are you thinking here?
Well,
I'm thinking they should have blocked that punt right there.
Well, I'll agree with that.
Down here, I'm going to say, you got to probably hand that ball off.
Afraid so. I think Dar's going to get this one, and he will. And he doesn't go far.
And I'm not real certain what Cooper Babbitt's thinking, but I know he was reading. It looked like he was reading that defensive end, and it looked like he could have maybe easily pulled that one.
Babin throws the ball pretty well on the run. If they sprint him out and let him get it a little quick slant, I just think it's so hard to defend the slant, that quick slant. Clock's rolling, and they're not in any hurry. I think they're just going to pretty much let this one run out. 65 seconds left to go here in the half. Timeout called by the Gators. So, don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss the halftime interview. Jolie Hartman, the 3rd member of our broadcast team, is going to be with Christina Carter, the Santa Maria principal. Always great to talk to Miss Carter. She's such a great interview, and she just loves and has such a passion for the Santa Maria nation.
And it's going to be I always like to talk to them about the importance of sports, especially in the fall where you have cross country and swimming and volleyball. And I just believe, the student section's not as active as it usually is over here. But you have a lot of things going on athletically for kids to participate in and also go to. And it's so much different than, your middle school activity list and stuff like that. So it just kind of, I just would like to think that, the value of sports gives to your whole school.
It is a vital part of student activities and student life for sure, and that will Dar will get about 3 yards. It brings up 3rd down. Clock is rolling at 50 seconds. Ruth makes the stop for the Cougars.
Bring up 3rd and 8 for the Gators.
Read his keys well, went ahead and handed off to Dar. Dar picks up only 2. I thought they were going to give him a few more yards than that, but not much. Clock down to 24 seconds here in the half. Dar once again, he will be ridden to the turf. He goes nowhere. Number 21 stops him. I mean, he's a big number 21. And that was Dominic Ruth again, the defensive tackle. Jumped on his back, and not even Dar could squat that much. And that'll do it for the first half of play. The Cougars and the Gators are all knotted up at 14 on big plays. All knotted up at 14 on big plays in the first quarter. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to head down to the field with Jolie Hartman and Principal Christina Carter. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
BT Chapman and AJ Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Santa Monica High School Athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Gators!
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
We're REV Business, a local provider with nearly 90 years of experience. So when it comes to business in Louisiana, we know that personalized service is key. And we're here to go the extra mile with all fiber solutions that deliver what every business needs, reliability and quality. We're not just providers. We're the local team dedicated to helping you succeed. True partnerships are homegrown. REV Business, internet, phone, managed services. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for over 30 years. Here at Chris's, we do the prep work so you can be the hero at your house. We have expanded to 4 locations and now serve home-cooked hot plate lunches at our new Highland location. It takes a lot of technology to keep us running. We use REV Business and have all 4 of their services. If you have multiple locations, REV is the perfect partner for your point of sale and telephone. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
Welcome back, everybody. It's halftime. Both teams in the locker room. We are tied at 14 apiece, and it was an exciting first quarter, Coach. And boy, it was big plays. I mean, quick strikes.
Big plays, and you know what? They count.
Yeah.
And what has happened since then? You know, you can't get a drive going consistently. You're not making the big plays, not even consistently. Let's just say at 50%. And, it doesn't look like the running game, other than the scrambling by the Kennedy quarterback. So, I'm a little concerned about – I think you have 2 pretty good teams right here playing, but, you don't have anything to go to make some dang plays other than, the big play.
Well, I think Coach Elpage has got to be thankful that Santa Monica did not capitalize on their 10 penalties in the first half. They were unable to do anything
point right there.
But the defenses did seem to settle in. I think I would like to see getting the Santa Monica to get the ball on the outside and stop trying to run Dar up the middle. I say that from this vantage point and not from sidelines.
Well, you have Tyree Williams, and I know he's out.
Right.
And I'm not trying to talk over a spilt milk or whatever here.
Sure.
But Tyree is your better back. Dar is a good back. There's no doubt about it. But Tyree is your power back in the tackles, but he's also, runs track and he's got speed. So, as you can see, speed. I mean, it's something that you have to account, because the Gators have finally, in whatever things Jay Dykes has done, when the defense is on the sideline, they are making more plays. consistently in eliminating the big plays. So it's going to be, and then I'm just kind of wondering, about the conditioning of Kennedy.
Well, just to remember, Kennedy did score 2 touchdowns that were called back on penalties that had some broken coverages by our defensive back.
Good point.
Well, we're going to throw it down to a very special performance by the Gator Band, and we're going to let them take it away.
Tonight we present the first 2 parts of our competition show titled 1849, arranged by Evan Van Doren and featuring the music of Brian Tyler, Thomas Bergerson, Gordon Sumner, and Ron Nelson. Drum majors Stephen Allen, Oliver Foray, and Aubrey Scanlon. The Seminole Marching Band, you may take the field. We continue tonight's halftime with the Santa High School Spirit Band, which is made of all wind, percussion, color guard, and Gatorette members at Santa High School. We begin our spirit show with an energetic dance routine by the Santa High School Gatorettes, featuring this 2012 hit by Bruno Mars. Choreographed by Joey Pruitt, Abby Reeves, and Bella Babin. Here is Bruno Mars' Treasure.
What a tremendous performance by the band, the great band from Santa Monica. Their competition number that they've been working on. And now it's time for the middle school band. Let's let them entertain this crowd for a little bit longer. I'm so glad that you're doing it. While they're getting set up, we're going to throw it down to the third member of our broadcast team. Jolie, take it away.
Welcome back down here on the field. My name is Jolie Hartman, and I am standing with Santa Monica High's principal, Miss Christina Carter. Miss Carter, you are in your second year as principal at Santa Monica High. Can you kind of tell us the difference between your first and your second year?
Well, I feel like last year was a lot of getting to establish your vision and what you want to see, and now we get to engage in the work in order to do that. So I am just looking forward to another great year. We had a great year last year, and I'm looking forward to another one.
Absolutely. And somebody that is one of your staff members, you have been doing such a great job with setting a culture for not just our students, but our teachers. And with that, you know, how do you drive a culture that, you know, hurricane and this and that? So how do you keep up the spirit of Santa Monica High School, not just for our students and staff, but our community?
I mean, I think it helps that all of us have the exact same goal. We are all one team and us working together, because at the end of the day, we want our students to be successful. And so that is what makes Santa Monica High special. The teachers, the staff, the community, everybody's on the same page, and it's just a great place to be at.
Absolutely. And one thing, you know, Santa Monica High, we're kind of, you know, state known for sports and everything else, but what can you say that Santa Monica High has definitely strived in the last few years that, you know, the state, they might be seeing Santa Monica High's name, you know, a little bit more around?
Oh, we are always saying Santa Monica High's name because we are just awesome and we are great at everything that we do. We want to excel and we are always going to put our best foot forward for our students. They are the next generation and we want to make sure they're prepared. So we are investing our time wisely in making sure that they are ready for that endeavor, and I have no doubt that they are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Christina Carter. And as a teacher under your, wing and everything else, we just thank you so much for what you bring for us. And I do have to tell everybody that Miss Carter made her teachers get on a bus because that is what we are bringing for our students at Santa Monica High this year. We are bringing the energy bus. And so we can definitely feel it every time Miss Carter is involved in anything at Santa Monica High School. So thank you, Miss Carter, and I really appreciate everything that you do for us.
Awesome. Go Gators.
Absolutely. All right. Let's listen to this tune right here from the Golden Band from Gatorland.
Santa Monica High School band directors Joseph Nasser, assistant directors Andrew Graham, color guard instructors are Stephanie Montoya and Aaliyah Bourgeois. Gatorade sponsors Tessa Roussel, drumline instructors Ross.
What a treat that was for everyone here in the stands, and we hope everybody enjoyed it at home because you don't often get to hear at halftime some of the halftime entertainment that the marching band gets to provide for the folks in the stands. And then on top of that, you've got the middle school band. We were just talking about that has to be a pretty cool thing for a middle schooler to be out here with the high school marching band in front of the home crowd.
There is no doubt of the little stories that are being told and the excitement of the youngsters. And then the older kids are going, I can remember when I did that, And we said the band is a big thing. In Ascension Parish, it is huge, and then you have all these performances and competitions and everything else, and it is amazing. I don't know if they still practice on the baseball field, but it is like the field is covered with band members everywhere. So it's always pretty neat. They're no different than anybody else that's competing, whether you're on the chess team, the football team, or the band. It's a big deal to you.
Well, I just know that my brother-in-law was a member of the LSU Golden Band from Tigerland, and they used to have, literally do 2-a-days in August before they had the practice facility at LSU. They would do it in the parking lot of Miller Hall, and, I don't know how anybody does that. Anyway, so anybody that says the band's not out there busting their tails like everybody else, they certainly
I
are.
would venture to say there's been a ton of band members that have been, from this parish at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact the Color Guard, it's another group, the Golden Girls. So Ascension Parish, other than the student body, is well represented at LSU.
Without a doubt, and we're about to start the second half of play, all tied at 14 apiece. The Gators and the Cougars getting ready to come out from the locker room. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this for the third quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's Santa Monica and the Cougars. Back after this.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
Welcome back to halftime. It's just a couple of minutes left in halftime. We're about to start the third quarter. Every week on REV, every week on the REV Game of the Week, we bring you the best in Ascension Parish sports.
And we have some great games coming up for you in the next couple of weeks. Next week, you and I will be traveling to the brand new Prairieville to see a game between them and Dutchtown. And Ascension Parish Swim Meet, I'll be doing that one coming up in a couple of weeks. And Santa Ma at Dutchtown will be on Friday night. So the Ascension Parish Meet is on Wednesday in 2 weeks. And the Santa Ma Dutchtown game is on Friday. White Castle at Donaldsonville will also be coming up as well. If you don't, you can always watch the games live streamed or on demand. And, of course, you can watch them on REV TV on Saturdays and Sundays. All right, Coach, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for one of these teams to break out of this deadlock?
I am thinking a lot of what you saw, unless at the end of the third quarter it looks to me like maybe Kennedy is losing a little quickness and speed.
Yep.
But I'm not, so I wouldn't bet much money on that. But I'm going to just tell you, I think it's going to be just like the first half. I think it's going to come down to who's going to make the big plays. You know, I don't think anybody's going to be consistent, getting a 7-8 yard run,
right.
Getting 3 or 4 first downs. I don't see that happening right here. There's no doubt the kicking game could always play a role. And but you scared me when you said, do you know that they got 2 touchdowns called back?
Right. And they were wide open touchdowns.
Yeah.
They were not contested touchdowns.
So it's going to be interesting. I know the kids missed a week of competition last week. So I just think that your kids that are seniors or leaders are the ones that need to be talking it up in the huddle, making the plays. And look, it did look better defensively.
Yeah.
So big plays. You got to stop them and you got to make them.
It'll be interesting to see if one team comes out of the locker room and sets the tone for this half. The Cougars are going to be receiving the kick. They deferred after the coin toss, winning the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. They will get the ball to start things off. And you did talk about the kicking team. The coverage team for Santa Ma has been lights out.
Yes.
Now they've had a little help from the receivers and the return men, but nonetheless they're there and they're making the tackles. We'll see if that continues. Of course, they also did have that big give up that big touchdown run.
Boy, it's amazing what you have to do from year to year in sports in general when you have people retiring at the NFL, graduating at the college ranks, your seniors at the high school ranks, middle schoolers. It's amazing how your team changes every year. I was just thinking, Easton Gyro,
yep.
Receiver,
yep.
Punter, kicker, field goal guy, and
Squibber for Fierro to start off the third quarter collected, and there's your big play right there, right up the gut, and nobody's going to stop him. He's got 2 defenders, and he will finally get tackled at the 15-yard line. Are there flags down? I don't see any, but let me tell you, that was a huge run. It is a flag down, right there at the eye of the Gator. That would have set the tone quite quickly for the Cougars.
And who was that just returned that ball?
He was so fast I didn't catch a number. But he took the ball, didn't hesitate, and these running backs, or these return guys, have been able to really plant their foot and make a cut, and it's almost like Ole defense a little bit as he cut around some of the Santa Maria defenders. Let's see what the call is going to be. Holding, again, on the Cougars. That negates a huge run. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So they decline the holding, and they will take the 15-yarder. And that is that's the 11th big penalty of the game against the Cougars. So they were going to be at the 20-yard line of the Gators.
Well, he's going up where the foul was committed, or the penalty.
Sideline interference is the call against the Gators.
Sideline interference against the Gators. And I'm going to tell you, that could be seriously costly.
Yep.
Especially if your kid just scored a touchdown on a long pass or a run or whatever.
So Cougars 1st and 10, their first possession of the third quarter at the 45-yard line of the Gators. Darrensburg will look to the sideline.
And, you know, we haven't said enough about because he hasn't hardly been involved. Number 12.
Kingston Jones. Trying to dance around at the line of scrimmage, will lose 2 yards. Number 88, Gavin Hebert, makes the stop.
Kingston Jones was the big-time receiver, four or five catches last week for about 200 yards. And it was all a speed thing. So you would think he would be the guy that you would want to be involved in a vertical route, because he was the 100-meter champion in 3A, and he was second in the 200-meter.
You have to credit Caleb Ricks a little bit from taking Jones away from him a little bit, because he has been on Jones all night long. That pass sails right through the hands of one of the receivers, and it's incomplete.
And you know, the amazing thing is he ran 10.6 to win the 100 meters and 21.3 to come out second in the 200 meters. So you could see this guy could be a serious threat on this field. But the Gators have done a great job slowing him down. And we get to watch him here because he's lining up to our side on most all the plays.
Ricks is on him man-to-man. And he will not be able to break free. But you know who does? Darrensburg. Darrensburg gets close to a first down, but I think he's going to be a couple of yards short. Actually, more than a couple, like 4. He got 8 on the carry. That's that break contain. You've got to contain him on the outside.
And in the second quarter, I thought the Gators did a pretty good job of that. Mm-hmm. The problem in this game for the Gators, you have to be almost 100%.
That's right.
And that's tough.
They will go for it on fourth down. Will Kennedy out of the Wildcat. Check that. They'll move over. And it will be Darrensburg. Darrensburg will get back to the line of scrimmage before being basically laid out.
I think they had a play right there to pitch the ball, but he never pitched it, and the pitch man was all by himself on the outside. Watch right here.
Just grabbed him around the shoulder pads and said, no, sir, you're not going anywhere.
Well, good job right there. Jay Dykes' group defensively. Outstanding job.
Gators own 38, 1st and 10. The first play from scrimmage in the third quarter. And it will be Dar being ridden to the turf like a pony ride at the Funfair Park. 2nd and 9. It was number 21 again making the play. That's Ruth, excuse me. Pick up of 1. I still think if you're going to run Dar, you got to get him outside. I know he did have that squirter run where he got through there, but he hasn't done that. He's only done that once. Pulls it back. And almost intercepted. They have had a lot of trouble catching those short passes because they're taking their eye off the ball before they bring it into their hands all the way. You want to take a picture with your mind of seeing that ball in your hands before you take your eyes off of it.
And the ball was lined up perfect with your hands and your eyes on the pass.
They have dropped 4 of those tonight. Another crucial third down, 3rd and long. They have only converted 1 tonight. Three receivers to the near side. See where he goes. Jailbreak, dumps it off. A little high, and it's incomplete. Intended for Dar. They were trying to set up the screen, and that has been disappointing. Fierro's going to have to ice that leg when he gets finished tonight. You mentioned at halftime about the kicking game may come into play, and we've seen Fierro kick a couple of extra points. He missed 2 field goals in the game against Bird a couple of weeks ago. Not all his fault, but this is the worst punt of the night. It did not go far. It is a short punt. It will take a small Gator bounce, but not much.
And I will say this, number 17 for Kennedy, he's been the outside rusher.
Kenny Tyler. He
has come a little bit too close to blocking that punt.
I want to ask you, in the LSU game, when they blocked the punt and they jumped over the shield, legal or not legal?
I'm not real certain what that rule is.
Not either. I thought you couldn't do that, but obviously it wasn't called. Quick pass, finds his receiver in the flat. He's got a little bit of running room. In fact, he's got a lot of running room. At the 40, 30, before being tripped up from behind. Great run after the catch by number 14.
Well, you know,
Dorian Dunham.
That right there was just a missed tackle.
That was Allen actually on the catch. Hustling defensive play to get back and make the stop. Big pickup of 27. 1st and 10 from the Gator 27. Handoff to Brown. Brown goes nowhere. Flag will fly. He is met by Evan Williams, the senior linebacker.
Boy, great job right there by Williams. The angle that he took pursuing, and then he couldn't cut back in because your pursuit was pretty good.
So we'll sort things out. We've got a flag on the play. It looks like another holding call against the Cougars. That is the 8th holding call of the game.
And you know what? That kind of tells me not necessarily a lack of discipline. That just kind of tells me fatigue is setting in.
Well, we've got a player down for the Gators. It looks like he's cramping a little bit. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
8:57 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Been a little bit sloppy for the Cougars. They have made progress, and then as soon as they do, they shoot themselves in the foot. They don't have any toes left. 1st and 20.
Got a little break right there. And I see number 12 looking right at us over here.
They'll run to the right side, and he's got a little room to Derensburg. Derensburg will get 7 yards back. Again, Ricks is, step for step for Kingston Jones. They're not even looking over at this sideline. There you see a great camera angle both the play and what we're talking about with Caleb Ricks on Kingston Jones. Brings up second down. He did pick up about 7, make it 8 on that run. You know, Darrensburg is the only one really picking up positive yards rushing the football. Low snap. Luckily, he's able to pick it up, running for his life. And he escapes. Positive yardage before being dragged down from behind at the 19-yard line. Gutsy play by Evan Williams to really not give up on it and hustle back and make the tackle. But not before he picks up enough for a first down. They have got to contain number 2.
I'll tell you what, that's impressive. That guy is just like Coach Oliver says, can beat you with his arm and his feet.
To have the wherewithal not to go down on a knee and watch the ball when you're trying to pick it up with his hands. This pass floater in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. And that will go to Evan James. The 19-yarder for the score, and they break the deadlock. Pretty decent coverage, but it was just a well-thrown football.
And, you know, he just didn't get turned around in time because he was in position right there to bat that thing away.
Aiden Mie was the cornerback on that one, and this kick is up and good, and we have a 21-14 ball game. The first lead of the night for the Cougars with 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are watching the Rev Game of the Week. Back after this.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for over 30 years. Here at Chris's, we do the prep work so you can be the hero at your house. We have expanded to 4 locations and now serve home-cooked hot plate lunches at our new Highland location. It takes a lot of technology to keep us running. We use REV Business and have all 4 of their services. If you have multiple locations, REV is the perfect partner for your point of sale and telephone. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
Scoring drive for the Cougars. 5 plays, 64 yards, capped off by a 19-yard touchdown pass from Darrensburg to Evans. The PAT was good. So, midway through the third, just about, it's 21-14, and the Cougars have taken their first lead of the night. Let's see how this offense responds for the Gators. This one is a boomer, and it'll go all the way to the end zone for a touchback. The first kickoff that we've seen from either team go into the end zone. So they'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Didn't get a chance to thank Principal Christine Carter for being with us at halftime. Jolie Hartman always does such a marvelous job on the sidelines for us. She does so many things around here, she doesn't get a chance to do it as often as we'd like her to. Quick pass into the flats. They will actually make the catch for one of the few times tonight, picking up 3. That was Caven Taylor making his first grab of the night. Plenty of time just getting out there quickly, trying to get him in space, but the defenders were right there on him to make the play. Jalen Perkins in on the stop. Pick up a 2.5, brings up second down. It will hand off to Dar, and Dar will battle his way for 3 or 4 more. Now we've got 3rd and short. It's a 3rd and manageable. This is the one you have to convert.
And I believe you can convert it one way or the other. I kind of like the situation where Cooper might read that in and come off of there and maybe be able to pick up a first down running the ball.
It's hydration timeout. You know, the Gators over the last 5 seasons, let's take a look at what they've done over the last 5 seasons. They've had some pretty good years. Last year, they go 10-2, go to the regionals. 22 was 4-7. They still go to the playoffs. 8-3 in 21. They haven't missed the playoffs since 2019. So that's saying something, a lot, actually, saying for Coach Oliver.
And, you know, when you look at both of these teams, that Coach L. Page is in the same boat.
Yep.
Missed it in 2019, then been in the advance to the playoffs the last 5 years.
Did you know that he was the MVP of the Hawaiian Bowl in 2002? I'm talking about Coach L. Page for Tulane. A little tidbit that might win you some money one day. Across the middle, pass is caught. It's complete and to Myers, and Myers picks up 14. First down.
Well, you got that little shallow concept. You know, there you go across with a shallow, then a square in behind it. And Babin with a nice pitching catch.
See if they can sustain this drive. Handoff this time to Dar once again. And Dar, again, he's running hard. He's fighting hard, getting a couple of yards. It's just not a lot of daylight in there.
Well, I think if you can consistently do that, maybe you could tire him out just a little bit, and maybe that's exactly what's happening right here.
And I'd love to see fake handoff to Dar with an end around or a jet sweep coming around from the outside. In pass protection, offensive line doing a good job protecting. Hurried to throw that time. Trying to find number 80, Elisar, couldn't connect. Brings up third down. Again, a key play. Haven't gotten the ball to Tim Johnson much. He had 8 catches for 92 yards in the loss to Bird in week 1. Had a touchdown. He's on the outside, sets up in the zone. Looking for somewhere to go. Babin's going to run it. He's going to pick up the first down, but not by much. I thought he slid just a little early. I'm not sure he got it. Oh, my goodness. He comes up short. He just tripped a little bit, it looked like. And he will be a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy on fourth and bring up fourth down. Let's watch it on the replay and see where. Oh, it was a good hit that time by Ernest Lyons, who just caught him right at the ankles. He was hidden. Our camera operator's doing a phenomenal job of catching the best angles that they possibly can to show us on the replay. They will punt this one away. They want to flip the field, and Fierro, up until that last punt, had been doing just that. It was a 22-yard punt the last time, but he has been booming them, and a timeout is called.
Coach Oliver might be rethinking this.
He was 1 of 3 on fourth downs against Easton. The Gators have not improved a lot on their third down conversions since the Easton game when they were 3 of 12. But what do you think? Put in the jumbo squad? Jumbo package?
Well, you know, Coach Oliver's had this, ever since he's been at Santa Maria. The jumbo package.
Fourth down, and they have changed their mind. They are not going to punt this one away. They're going to believe in their ability to gain a yard and a half.
And you might try to get them to jump. Offsides.
Babin calls for the football. He's going to take it himself. He finds a crease. He gets the first down and a little bit more. The ball going to the 50-yard line. It was actually Dar out of the Wildcat. I thought I saw Cooper Babin split out wide, but I didn't trust my own eyesight. And it was Dar that takes it right up the gut. And they convert their first fourth down of the night.
Well, that was a well-run play, and Dar did an outstanding job of keeping his head up to avoid that head-on tackler there, picking up some big yardage and a first down.
Now Babin will hand off to Dar, and Dar thought he had a little seam, but it closed quickly. Ernest Lyons on the stop. They are just packing that box. When they think they're going to run, they're just packing the box, and they're just not allowing much. Now the fire plug will come into the ball game, that being Jaquan Jordan. He ran a lot in the first quarter. Hasn't seen a lot of action since. 2nd and 8.
Might be going for a deep ball because, well, there's that free safety getting deep.
He is dropping back. Will Babin. Babin's going to float one. Trying to find his man. It's kicked up in the air. It's intercepted. Just bad luck that time. It's going to be some running room for Shields, and Shields will be stopped after the ball bounces in the air and lands right in his arms.
Boy, unlucky bounce.
It's actually Lyons. Excuse me. He goes up for it, kicks right off his foot and right into the hands of the cornerback. So they were +1 tonight. Now they're back to even on turnovers. They got a fumble earlier and an interception now. Derensburg just moves his leg out of the way before somebody tackled him, and he picks up 13, make it 12.
Quarterback looks like maybe a cramp. Yep.
Good low tackle, ankle tackle by the Gator defenders. While we have a second, why don't we take a look at the rest of the week's slate of district games, non-district games that will be happening coming up tomorrow. Collegiate Baton Rouge is at Dutchtown. That should be an interesting game. It's homecoming, and it's a REV game of the week, so you'll be able to watch that one on REV Sports 1. East Ascension will travel to Sam Houston. Prairieville will welcome Riverside. Denham Springs at Woodlawn. You talked about it. That's a big game just because Denham Springs has got to get off the snide a little bit. And Ponchatoula at Live Oak and Walker at Central. I'm interested in that Walker at Central game. You talked about it earlier.
I think it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, I think you're right. .210 left to go in the third. After the interception, the Cougars have a little life and they're driving. Big run on first down a bit ago by Derensburg. All into Santa Monica territory at the 38-yard line. Call it the 37. This is number 4, James Evans throwing a pass. Incomplete. Oh, my goodness, and that was the first try to get to Kingston Jones. And they swapped sides on Kingston. Kingston went to the right side and got away from Ricks. And they targeted him. A little short on the pass. And then he slipped on the concrete or something over there, and lucky he wasn't hurt. It's hard to believe you only targeted your best receiver once tonight.
No doubt about that. Quarterback back in the game.
Second down.
Dunsburg.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. Derensburg will run it himself. That's actually James Evans out of the Wildcat, and he will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Jacoby Davis, for a nose guard, man, he is lean, mean, and has a lot of speed.
Well, you know, if you're playing nose guard.
And that was Evan Williams as well.
The one thing good that you have going for you is, sure, you can play head up on him, but you can also slant one way or the other. And but the worst part about it is you can almost get double teamed on every play.
Right at a minute to play in the third. Third down, a big play, 3rd and 10 for the Cougars. After the interceptions, they want to make something happen, and they do because he's got so much real estate. He'll pick up 17 on the quarterback keeper. Derensburg, it's a hole you could drive a train through. So he'll pick up the first down, convert on 3rd, and the ball will rest at the Gator 18.
You know, the one thing they're missing out on is in that linebacker group right there, who is going to be able to make that play on that tackle on that quarterback?
They talked about having a spy on him all night, and they have broken down on that a little bit as we see illegal procedure by the tight end, and we'll have 13 seconds left in the quarter. Running the clock, and that will probably do it for the third quarter, and we'll head to the final 12 minutes here at the pit. The Gators trailing 21-14 to the Cougars. We will be back right after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. This one's going to come down to the final buzzer. We'll be back on the REV Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
The first quarter started off with a bang. The middle of the game has been a little bit back and forth and slowed down. Things are starting to pick back up a little bit here as we head to the fourth quarter, the final 12 minutes of this one. What did you tell your team going into the fourth quarter? You've had good plays and bad, but you're down. What's the message?
Well, you know, the message that and how fortunate we were at Santa Monica is that you almost had a complete different group of guys that ran offense, defense, special teams.
Right.
And, you know, we felt like if we're in the game going into the fourth quarter because of our conditioning and our two-platoon system, you know, we ought to be able to win the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, we used to do, the four fingers up, fourth quarter. You know, the big deal here with them, when he makes a move.
Fumble, the ball pops out. Nope, they're going to call it incomplete. A flag will fly. So there's a jailbreak. Katie bar the door right on top of Derensburg. It looked like the ball came out unless he threw it away. He did it. It was intentional grounding. I didn't see that at the time. I thought somebody kicked it out of his hand. But it's no question intentional grounding. Right? How could it not be? Can we pull that back up, Nolan? Is it possible? Our great director doing a phenomenal job behind the computer.
You know, I saw the white hat with the referee. I saw him watching.
I don't see.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Down. That's right. He throws it down.
Well, he's shaking. I mean, saying incomplete pass. Stop the clock. And
remember the old in the grass rule? That was in the grass, but then he threw it.
wow.
Flag is still down at the 38-yard line, 37-yard line.
You know, it seems like if you're an official and that quarterback does that, you might just automatically throw a flag.
It's definitely going against Sanamaw. I would like big penalty against Sanamaw. That'll move the Cougars first down from the 11. Going for the corner of the end zone against Ricks. It's broken up, no flag. Big time play right there by Caleb Ricks.
Well, good job by Ricks of timing that to where that ball came in there and he just slid that hand in the way. Kept the receiver from catching the ball.
Second down. About 3 yards to go for a first for the Cougars. The ball at the 11.
I don't know what kind of running plays because most of the yardage is gained off of scrambles.
Right.
But it seems like that's exactly what needs to happen right here.
The Cougars will call a timeout with 11:28 to go here in the ball game. The Cougars scratching at the door. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Rev Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
Cougars called the timeout. They're wrapping it up with 11:28 to go in the game. Coach, at the 11-yard line, second down and 3. You can get a first down at the, it looks like the 8-yard line, 9-yard line.
Also with that, you know, you're on the right hash. Got 3 receivers to the wide side of the field.
Darrensburg will call for the football. And he does exactly what we expected. He waited, hesitated, and then ran toward the end zone. Right up the middle, but there's another flag down. Man, the referees are going to get their arms tired. They're going to have an ice down after this. Here's a replay, and he does. He steps to the left and then goes right back on a little counter.
Just give a little enough time to get a little penetration. Stay on your block on the offensive line. I'll find a hole in there.
Fourth quarter $25 gift card is donated by Action Therapy. They have state-of-the-art technology and experienced staff to improve your health and wellness, getting you back.
Holding is the call against the.
I mean, I see tired people down there for Kennedy. And the bad thing for the Gators is not the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, that's the 13th penalty of the night for the Cougars. So now you've got a 2nd and 13. It was 2nd and 3 a minute ago. Dropping back. Darrensburg's going to angle for the corner of the end zone. Floats one in there. Perfectly thrown. Touchdown. Beautifully done to Strouder, and Strouder extends the lead to 2 touchdowns. That's the pass we saw him doing in pregame warm-ups. Sends it out there. You got a linebacker on trying to guard Strouder, and that's just tough assignment. Just a perfectly thrown football and tough play that time. A tough assignment for Brody Meir. Why is it unsportsmanlike conduct against the Cougars?
Your option there is going to be on the extra point or on the kickoff.
Yep. So excessive celebration is the call. That was a 7-play, 50-yard drive capped off by a 22-yard touchdown pass to Strouder. This extra point is up, and it is good. 28-14. The Cougars take a 2-touchdown lead with 10:35 left to go here in the ball game. No matter what happens here, if the Cougars can, if the Gators can come back and somehow manage to win this football game, that would be obviously exciting and exceptional. But the season's not over by any stretch. I mean, this is game 2 for the Gators. Well, a lot of football left to play.
There's no doubt about that. And, you're just going to have to – and I keep talking about Tyree Williams. He is the guy that's going to make some big plays for you. And don't see him on the sideline.
Yep.
There he is down there.
We've talked a little bit about it, but this is a very young team, and it's a team that is literally – you got 8 or 9 guys that are not playing tonight because they're hurt.
And that has to happen, and you just, you have a number of things that have to happen for you in order for you to be able to play your best. And
collected at the 25-yard line. He's got a little bit of room. This is number 2, Timothy Johnson. And Johnson will be run out of bounds on the sideline across the 50-yard line into Cougar territory.
Well, that's a plus right there for the Gators because that was a very short kick. Did a good job of collecting that ball, running vertically straight up the middle. I'm not real big on the outside, but, that's exactly what he did, picked up another couple of yards.
1st and 10 for the Gators. If they're going to get back into this football game, they got to make something happen on this drive. Quick pass, a hard pass, caught at the 40-yard line. I think they'll give him to the 39 on forward progress. That was Elisar making the catch. We have not seen a lot of short throws, especially across the middle. And Ernest Lyons, again, in on the stop. He has had an active second half. Pickup of 6 brings up 2nd and 4. Screen pass to Caven Taylor. Taylor breaks a tackle. He will cross the 30 to the 26-yard line.
Very good job of blocking on the inside receiver, number 18. Myers, a very good job of blocking and a nice run after the catch.
1st down for the Gators at the 26 of the Cougars. Going in motion is Jordan. Jordan will catch a screen pass, and he will be met at the line of scrimmage, actually loses a couple of yards. Good stop by number 21. That was Ruth. Ruth has been all over the place tonight. 2nd down, they lost 2 on the play. Hand off to Jordan. Jordan tries to find a hole, stops, cuts back to the right, and he has just impeded his progress. Making the stop is Calvin Sparrow. Sparrow's been in a lot of spots from his middle linebacker spot. Brings up third down. Still a lot of time left, but you got to feel like this is a critical play here in this football game.
They're trying to get them to jump, see where they at, because a couple of plays ago they were bringing the house.
Dropping back is Babin. Babin looking for somebody to throw to across the middle and off the hands of his intended receiver, Elisar, and he's lucky that one wasn't into the defender's hands. Brings up fourth down, and this is 4-down territory. Pass was a little bit behind Elisar. Just right off his hands. Tough catch. But those are the ones that you just hold your breath when they bounce off the receiver's hands, and you've got a couple of defenders back there. This is the third time they've gone on fourth down. They've converted one of two. And a timeout is going to be called. And we will take it with them. We'll be back right after this. 8:13 to go in the ball game. Gators trying to make something happen. Back after this on the Rev Game of the Week.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles.
We're back very quickly. Here we go. Running for his life on fourth down. Looking for somebody to throw to downfield. It's a wobbly effort. Did he catch it? He did. A lame duck pass was caught by number 1, Caven Taylor. And it's a first down, Gators.
Well, they made something happen right there. Good job of getting out of the just throwing it up there, and let's just see if we can make something happen, and that's exactly what happened.
He high-pointed that ball, and whistles will blow. Blow the play dead. That looks like it's probably going to be procedure. As soon as you, well, maybe not. Illegal substitution is the call against the Cougars. That is another little gift.
Well, you know, illegal substitution, I think that might mean they had 12 men on the field or something like this.
There's still confusion by the Cougars. If they snap the ball, they'd have another one.
And they got coaches on the field and going to call timeout, I'm so certain.
Let's take a look at what we have coming up in the next couple of weeks on the Rev Game of the Week. We've got lots of great sports action from around Ascension Parish, and it just doesn't get much better than next week as we have Dutchtown and Prairieville. And the inaugural season of Prairieville, they're not doing too bad.
Yeah, and, you know, in the Jamboree, you know, Dutchtown and Prairieville played, and it was a 40-something to maybe 6, 8, or 10 or something like that. You know, and, of course, they're playing, you know, shorthanded. So, you know, Dutchtown had to go through this, and I'm sure Prairieville is going to have to go through it. But I will say this, very, very nice facility.
We were talking about earlier, looking forward to seeing it. All right, 7:40 left to go in the ball game, and it's first and goal from the 3.
Well, you got everybody at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like linebackers, everybody's coming.
Delayed handoff, and it's in for the score. Touchdown! That was number 40, his first carry of the night, Camden Cluot. Cannon goes off, always scares me even though I know it's coming.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting what happened right here. Let's watch it. I don't know, 40.
It's 47, excuse me, it wasn't Cluot.
So he went into a little slide motion, and he was a little bit too slow, and the ball snapped and hit him in the midline area, and the ball fell to the ground. He picked it up and went straight to the end zone. That's exactly how it was drawn up.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question that Carson Sheets is living right. My goodness, what a play. And again, the penalties hurt the Cougars because they gave them another half the distance to the goal, another 3 or 4 yards.
And I'm still thinking, what about conditioning here in this next 7.5 minutes?
It is hot and steamy out there. Week 1 was uncharacteristically cool. Of course, we had all that rain that week, but it was nice, as nice as it could be for first week of September. But it's hot and steamy tonight. It is muggy.
Well, I don't know how it is at Prairieville. Interested to see. But I know how it is here. I know how it is at Dutchtown. That picture, that window can get fogged up pretty quick.
Yeah, well, we're getting fogged up in our window right now. 7:34 left to go. The Gators trailing by a touchdown. And an extra point, of course. 28-21. Fierro, onside kick. Whistle blows. I would presume that it was Caleb Ricks that was offsides. Left a little bit early. Mistimed it. So they'll back up 5.
Well, it looked to me like that was an onside kick.
I agree. Little kickoff from the 35.
And Kennedy says, you're not doing that twice.
No. Let's see.
Well, I'll take that back. Maybe so.
Off the hands of Strouder. Strouder will pick it up at the 15. He finds a seam, and my goodness, could he possibly pick up another 22 yards on the return? And he does. They'll have 1st and 10, but they got a Gator down. Looks like he's either cramping or maybe caught a knee in the thigh. Look at that hole right up the middle. The coverage teams have done so well early in the game, and it's kind of fallen apart on them.
And I'm going to tell you, when you say a hole, for these guys at Kennedy, it needs to be a sliver. Because they are so fast and so quick. And I just think the more they, as long as everybody stays healthy, for them, they could have, we're talking about a 3A team right here.
Right. Gator player is still down. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. 7:24 left to go in the ball game. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for over 30 years. Here at Chris's, we do the prep work so you can be the hero at your house. We have expanded to 4 locations and now serve home-cooked hot plate lunches at our new Highland location. It takes a lot of technology to keep us running. We use REV Business and have all 4 of their services. If you have multiple locations, REV is the perfect partner for your point of sale and telephone. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
It was Schonberg coming off the field. He looks like he was able to do it under his own power, so we're glad to hear that, see that. Now it's time for the defense to do something. They've got to get the ball back. There's a flag, another one. Man, tell you what. Illegal procedure on the receiver. That'll back him up 5. Penalty number, we're losing count, 15.
That looks to me like, your fans are standing up and getting a little excited. Defense looks like they're a little bit excited, and maybe they're going to make something happen right here.
Well, they've got to keep an eye on Darrensburg. That is one thing they have to. They cannot let him get free in space. First down and 15 from the 39. Darrensburg, quick pass across the middle, bobbled but caught. It will be Schroeder making the catch. He bobbled it, but he managed to hang on to it and pick up a big gain of 13.
Oh, that was a little RPO right there. It slipped that in there quickly.
Evan James actually was the receiver. They're very similar in body size and shape as Schroeder and Evan James. First down for the Cougars. Pulled back. Oh, my goodness. Air mailed that one to Strouder. Don't forget, in 2 weeks from yesterday, we have the Ascension Parish Swim Meet live and in person on the REV Game of the Week. Next week, we have Dutchtown and Prairieville. The Ascension Parish Swim Meet will be on a Wednesday in a couple of weeks. Santa Maud Dutchtown will be on that Friday. White Castle and Donaldsonville at homecoming game. Flag will fly again. The ball flies out, and the Gators look like they have it. Well, if it stands up, and I think it will be a holding call against the Cougars, the defense just came up with a big play.
You got 6:20 left in the ball game. Big play by the defense. Somebody had to make a big play, and that defense did a heck of a job right there.
Let's see if we can see the hold, or what the penalty was. He just coughed it up.
Once again, that new number for tonight's fourth quarter gift certificate. Check your programs, please.
You know, the amazing thing that both of these schools basically missed out.
Face mask negates the fumble recovery, and it will be a big 15-yarder against the Gators. So not only do they not have the ball, the Cougars are moved up 15.
Wow.
What a turn of events.
Coach Oliver's wanting to meet with the referee.
Timeout.
Timeout, Santa
Gators.
Maud.
Santa Maud leads the series with JFK 4-1. Of course, last year they beat JFK 20-14. You know, I was talking to Coach Oliver earlier in the week, and he said, 2 years ago or a few years ago, Kennedy shut out the Gators, and Coach Oliver said he's for sure that is the only time in his tenure that the Santa Maud Gators have ever been shut out. And he is a little bit hot under the collar.
I think when I was the head coach, I think Catholic beat us 3-0.
Really?
Big game. I think we were number 1 and they were number 4.
Another flag. That's going to be on Coach Oliver. Kind of like getting teed up in basketball. We have had a lot of flags thrown tonight. Unsportsmanlike against the Gators. Another 15-yard gift.
Personal foul is the call against the Gators.
That is a huge penalty for the Cougars and against the Gators. That really puts the defense in a tough spot.
Well, and it takes away a ton of momentum right there.
That's right.
And you could see that by the Sandomal players, how excited they were. They thought, all right, we're giving our offense a chance right here. Forced the fumble, and we got it.
First and 10 from the 14-yard line. The defense is a little bit fired up, it looks like.
There's no doubt about that.
They faked the handoff, and he was met, immediately.
It's hard to be flashy when you get hit in the backfield, okay?
Yes.
And that's not a knock on anybody, but, that's how you slow people down that are very athletic or very strong runners.
All right, that's our hydration timeout, and we will hydrate as well. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
5:59 exactly on the clock. 28-21, the Cougars have the lead, and they are driving due to some unfortunate penalties that the Gators have racked up over the last, it seems like 20 minutes, but it's only been a minute or two off the clock. Sidelines trying to pump up the crowd. Defense trying to pump up the crowd. 2nd down and 12. The ball at the 16-yard line. Derensburg is the quarterback, and he calls for the football. Dropping back, throws a zinger to his receiver at the 10. It's Evan James, and James is finally brought down after an 8-yard gain. He tried to dance his way out of trouble, but there were too many black jerseys, including number 98, Carpenter, and Guillory. So another flag flies. And I'm telling you, they're going to have repetitive motion injuries on this officiating crew. Brings up 3rd down and a country mile. Good thing we're in the country. 26-yard line is where the ball is placed. 3rd down and a big one for the Cougars. They have to get down to the 5 to convert. A timeout is called. 5:39. So it's just been one of those nights where one guy gets a little momentum and then they shoot themselves, and then the other team gets a little momentum, and then guns go off again. It is
I tell you,
it's a bloody afternoon.
On one side of it, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to this Kennedy team.
Yep.
Because I'm going to just tell you, I think Sandomal's got a decent defense, but you have about 3 or 4 Kennedy players that are almost unstoppable.
Yeah. But, I mean, they also have 17 penalties. And they're not 5-yard penalties, they're 15-yard penalties. And the whistle will blow again. Timeout again for the Cougars.
Well, I know what that was. The guy was in motion, and the offensive line went down to – so you had double motion or a motion penalty. Illegal procedure.
So they save us the flag, but they cost us a minute.
So, you know what? This is just my thought right here. Just a while ago, they ran that third inside receiver on a corner route.
Yep.
Referred to as a smash route sometimes. Hitch on the outside. I'm not sure what the second guy did because it was always going to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it had maybe a little mismatch with the outside backer on that third inside person. It looked to me like Sandoval was lined up a little bit different on defense with two deep safeties to help out here. And as you see, there it is right there.
Ricks will go man to man.
The only thing that scares me about that is that middle of that field.
Crowder goes in motion. Across the middle, and it's popped up, and it's intercepted! Into the hands! And out of bounds! What a play by number 20. Tremendous effort by the Gator defense. Popped right up into his hands. And it's actually number 21, Aiden Mie. And what a turn of events. That is exactly the stroke of fortune that the Gators needed. 1st and 10, the ball at the Cougar 40-yard line. Plenty of time on the clock.
Oh, plenty of time because you know about our third play of the game. You know what happened, huh?
Remind me.
Vertical.
That's
down
right.
the sidelines.
That's right.
Beautiful play.
Well, I don't think we're going to be seeing Dar running much.
And, this could be your vertical guy. There's nobody to help.
Dropping back. Cooper, there he goes, down the sideline to Myers. Myers got it! Out of bounds at the 27-yard line into Cougar territory.
Very well executed play right there. Great job by number 1. On the fake on the outside.
Caven Taylor.
Taylor, great job right there.
Flag on the play, much to my surprise. And again, the Cougars are penalized. 5 yards. That'll be 1st and 5 now from the 22. Oh, my goodness. Just took his eye off of it again. Caven Taylor had it in his hands. He's lucky that didn't fall into a defender's arm.
And the only thing, I don't know if they set this up. A little hitch and go.
Yep.
Double move. And again, you talk about the slant route. We hadn't really seen that.
Well, with the I'm sorry, but the inability of the receivers to catch short, quick passes, I wouldn't throw a quick slant. Running the football is Babin, and Babin will cross the 20 and get close to a first down.
At the 5-minute mark, that was a good job of pulling the ball and knowing that maybe that you don't have much there, but he created a seam right there and picked up and went forward with the fall to get closer to that first down yardage.
3rd and 1. Handoff to Dar. Dar battles his way for a first down and more. Crossing the 15 to the 12.
And Dar says, look, it's my night tonight. And he did a heck of a job right there, getting up the extra yardage, the first down yardage, inside the 15-yard line. Can still get a first down.
Two receivers to the top of your screen. You've got Caven to the bottom. It'll be a Babin taking it himself. He read his keys perfectly, got down to the 10, picks up a 2.
Well, I thought we had a nice opening right there.
It did close quickly. That's the difference in the way the defense has played. The Cougars are dealing with the quarterback, and then the defense of Sanamaw, they have given those big holes away, and the Cougars did not that time. Clock running at 3:27. Ball at the 10-yard line. He will hand off this time to Dar, and Dar is stuffed.
Well, good job there by the defensive line. Number 7 for Kennedy. Very good job right there by Sparrow, Calvin Sparrow.
Third down and inches. Third down and a pig's whisker, gentlemen.
Well, we have third basically in 7.
Oh, sorry. Dropping back. Ball is batted down. Brings up fourth down.
Well, they had the right idea with the slant and coming back to the sideline, a little return route. And batted down by one of the linemen rushing. Well, that was a good call. He was, wide open right there. Just got batted down.
Looked like Ernest Lyons got his arm on it. This is fourth down. This is the game right here. 2:43 left to go here in the ball game. And it's fourth down and 6 or 7. 7. Dropping back all by himself. In for the score. Busted coverage, and they take advantage.
What a call. What an execution right there.
Connor Dar, touchdown.
Boy, that was sharp right there. Great job there by the Gators, and now you want to go for 2 or 1?
You're the coach. You tell me. To go for 2 at home, right? No, you got to kick it. I think you got to kick it.
Well, that's about a spot right there where Seth Babin scored against Catholic on a quarterback sneak.
Let's watch this beautifully executed play.
Very much so. Just out there, little swing in there.
Taylor took the cornerback with him, and nobody picked up Dar out of the backfield.
Dar's got to be thinking, I am so wide open right now, and if I don't catch this ball,
I'm just going to keep walking.
I'm not real certain what I can do. But great job of concentrating and catching that ball. Big play for the Gators.
Sanamaw marches down the field to pull within 1 point with 2:38 to go. They are going for 2. They're going to take the lead.
Well, you remember that little slant route and a little return to the outside.
Dropping back, looking for somebody to throw to, still on his feet, being chased. He's going to tuck it. Nope, he's going to pull back, throws it toward the end zone. He got it! He got it! The Gators take the lead! 29-28 to Caven Taylor. What a great play by Babin.
Boy, I'm telling you, he looked like he was on Kennedy's team. With all that running around, and he eluded tacklers and everything else, but a perfect throw. And look, and I'm sure maybe they practice this and stuff like this, but a little scramble drill. But, boy, all the way across to one side, and then the receiver comes all the way back, and he's wide open.
Sorry, I thought they had a flag out. What was impressive to me is that he looked like he was going to tuck it and then kept his eyes downfield and found his man.
Well, I think a lot of people did a lot of good things on that play. And I would have to say it starts with the touchdown play, the call there, and the call on the two-point conversion. That's the start of it right there. And then the kids did a pretty good job of executing. Boy, the touchdown was beautiful.
You also have to hand it to Taylor because he had to break his route off when he saw that Babin was scrambling and just go to find a hole in the back of the end zone, and he did that. All right, there was a penalty on the Cougars, and they will be kicking off with the Gators from the 50-yard line.
So you got 2.5 minutes, and I don't think there's any timeouts left.
There can't be. So we're trying to find a hole in the fogged-up windows of the press box. It will be booted through the end zone, and the Cougars will take over 1st and 10. Was that? Flags will fly again. And I'm not sure.
Well, there's 2 flags, and I don't know if it's 2 penalties or 1.
Let's see if we can watch it right here. The play is over, and then he pushes him back down. They blew the whistle already, and that is going to go against the Cougars again, half the distance.
Well, you have to be kind of disappointed in that right there because your kids have actually played one heck of a football game, and penalties are going to, and rightfully so, penalties are going to decide just exactly where you're going to get this ball.
21 penalties, and 16 of those have been for more than 10 yards.
So we're talking about a few hundred yards.
Yes, sir, and 2 touchdowns called back. Oh, hit the referee in the face with his own flag. Sorry, the side judge threw it to the back judge and knocked him in the head. So, the Cougars will have it 1st and 10 with 2:27 to go.
I just truly believe that the Gators right here have to do a great job of penetrating, and it looks like Dykes is going to be your spy linebacker. He's been there most of the night.
They cannot give up a big run up the middle from Darrensburg. All right. Rolling out to his left. Ball is knocked away. Incomplete.
Well, it's a left-handed quarterback, and I would like to think that, when in doubt, he's going to scramble to the left.
Right.
Maybe bring some heat off the corner right there.
What has taken so long?
There you got a penalty delay game. 25-second clock.
They can't back up much more.
Well, that was 2.5 yards, so they're on the 2.5-yard line.
2nd down and 12 and a half. Darrensburg working out of his end zone. Dumps it off, met immediately. Nowhere to go. This defense is on a mission.
got a Gator down.
Just dumped it off right there, met immediately.
I think that's
Yes, sir. Guy's name we've been calling a lot lately, Bertie Meir. Oh, that's who made the tackle. I'm sorry, I'm not sure who's down. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. We've got 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the ball game. And Gator.
Chris's Specialty Foods has been making Cajun meat products for over 30 years. Here at Chris's, we do the prep work so you can be the hero at your house. We have expanded to 4 locations and now serve home-cooked hot plate lunches at our new Highland location. It takes a lot of technology to keep us running. We use REV Business and have all 4 of their services. If you have multiple locations, REV is the perfect partner for your point of sale and telephone. REV Business is authentic Louisiana, just like Chris's.
The tension is palpable. You can cut it with a knife.
3rd and around 13.
Clock rolling at 2:10. Down the field. It's caught by James Evans. James Evans is going down the field. He's being chased all the way down to the 8-yard line. What a catch and play. Holy cow, the crowd is stunned. No flags, right?
No flags, and great effort by your quarterback on that and your receiver and on about 2 defenders that chased him down.
Got to hand it to them. They never gave up. Now, with 1:55 on the clock, 1st down. 12-yard line is where the ball rests. They can get a 1st down at the 1.5. What a catch and just an effort to go up and get it. Gators call a timeout to assess the situation. What are you telling your guys? You gotta block that play out now. You got to play with what you've got, where you are.
And you know, first thing I would do defensively, I would tell whoever made that heck of an effort right there and caught up with a nice angle. You saved the game for us. Now let's do the rest of this thing. Let's finish this thing off with under 2 minutes at 1:55 left, and see if we can make something happen defensively and win this game on the defensive side of the ball. You know, I would try as everything to be as positive as possible, even though it's a
backbreaker, but you have to have a short memory. This game is officially 3 hours and 5 minutes old.
All right, you got quads. Well, that guy's coming off the field.
1st and 10 from the 12.
Remember, he's left-handed.
He's going to roll to his left. The whistle will blow him dead. God dog it. Flag on the play.
I'm going to say it's got to be a motion penalty. I know the offensive linemen are tired.
Yep. Offsides, that is unfortunate. That'll gift the Cougars 5 yards closer to the end zone.
Got enough time. No timeouts left, I'm sure.
Leyland has kicked 4 extra points, and this is about the extra point distance for the Cougars if they needed to kick a field goal. But plenty of time on the clock. It will be Darrensburg being met by a truckload of Gators. They stiffened and didn't break on that one. Leading the charge, Evan Williams.
Williams is the guy that's been in that spot in the middle, done an outstanding job. Him and Dykes from the linebacker spots.
Second down and 6, loss of a yard. Ball at the 7.
It's going to be a quick throw.
Right up the gut. Tried to sneak it. Nowhere to go. The defense is just too tight.
Well, somebody's helmet came off, so
he just tried to sneak it right up the gut.
Can they get a first down, or?
They can get a first down at the 2-yard line. This is third down.
And they're at the 6, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a little tough for us to see. The windows are completely fogged up. We're looking at our monitor. What's the down and distance?
It's showing third down. They're kicking a field goal. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Cougars take the lead with 12 seconds on the clock, 31-29. What an incredibly exciting ending to this game, but it's not over yet. I would presume you've got to catch the ball and just get down, right?
Unless you got some kind of trick play off
lateraler. It has been a hard-fought game for both of these teams. It ebbed and flowed. It was exciting and maddening all at the same time. But both of these teams played their hearts out tonight. 12 ticks of the clock remaining. The field goal good from Leland to give JFK the 2-point advantage. 31-29. The kick is away. It will be taken and dropped and bobbled. Picked back up at the 15. Still on his feet, running toward the sideline, trying to get out of bounds. He does with 6 seconds. So I would imagine the Cougars are going to put about 9 guys back behind the 40-yard line. One play, maybe 2, if there's some way you can get out of bounds. There's the bobble from Johnson. The Cougars will rush 4, it looks like, and drop everybody back into deep zone. Babin looking for somebody to throw to. He's flushed from the pocket. Still looking downfield. The ball is up in the air. It is knocked away.
Okay.
And that does it for this exciting photo finish football game. There's a flag down. Hang on. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's not over yet. So the play can't, the game can't end on a defensive penalty. So they'll have one untimed down. Quick pass out in the flats. Looking for a double pass down the field. Myers up in the air. It's intercepted, and that will do it. Finally, the end of the game will come to an end What an exciting football game we saw here tonight. Back and forth, all the way around. Hard fought, Coach, from the moment this gun went off until the final buzzer.
It was marred by a ton of penalties. There's no doubt about that.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. The final score, 31-29, the Cougars over the Gators. Back after this.
It's game time. That's right. Get ready to rev up, raise the bar. Go from 0 to 100. That's why REV is bringing the speed. Buku speed. High-powered internet speed that tackles every upload, download, and stream. With the most reliable network born right here in Louisiana. All backed by homegrown support. It's time to experience the power of Buku speed. Make the switch to REV. Visit us at letsrev.com.
BT Chapman and AJ Pickett with Advantage Therapy are honored and excited to team up with Sanama High School Athletics. At Advantage Therapy, we are dedicated to helping our patients regain the highest possible functional status through one-on-one patient care. Advantage Therapy has spent nearly 2 decades providing both outpatient orthopedic physical therapy and occupational therapy to the people of Ascension and surrounding parishes. From all of us at Advantage Therapy, go Gators!
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
The alma mater. Let's everybody listen. Tough way to lose one. But what an incredible effort by the Gators tonight. I know the Sanama faithful. And that will do it for us. The final score, JFK Cougars 31 and the Sanama Gators 29. For our entire crew and Coach David Swacker, I'm Jimmy Frederick. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time on the REV Game of the Week.